Chapter 5:12. Geniuses remember love in 1 second go? We will provide you with wonderful novels to read. After practicing the spear art, Knight Sorrow shared his idea with Yang Lei, Yu Si, and Sikong Chu. This was an effective way to cultivate. After achieving one with the spear, Knight Sorrow felt that his realm had increased very quickly. After using the power of the soul, he could even control the energy fluctuations around the reincarnation spear. When he could merge the power of the soul with the heaven and earth, he would be able to control the heaven and earth. That would be the realm of one with the heavens. Not bad, this is a good idea. Then let's study one with the sword. This is definitely a shortcut. You can find a shortcut to cultivating the soul, and you can also find a good way to cultivate the realm. I really admire you, Sikong Chu said. Hee, I was just lucky. You too can try, Knight Sorrow said. Then, the three of them cultivated for a while and arrived at the small building in the bamboo forest. At this moment, in the small building in the bamboo forest, Yu Yangyu's second-generation disciples from Taishan Peak were all drinking tea and chatting, except for Huanan. In the past, when you didn't have any achievements, I looked forward to your achievements. But now that you have to go your separate ways. It's really hard to be satisfied with both sides, Yu Yangyu looked at his disciples and said with some emotion. After hearing Yu Yangyu's words, Gong Xian and the others didn't say anything because Yu Yangyu was telling the truth. These days, everyone was busy with their own things and didn't have much time to meet each other. Fu 3. Original 2 version, don't be like this. I'm just a little emotional. It's a good thing that you have a bright future. Looking at the Medicine Valley, who can compare with me? All 13 disciples are elites, and more than half of them have reached the 5th rank. I'm proud of you, Yu Yangyu said with a smile. Everyone drank happily. Guan Ye's resurrection was a big deal in their hearts. It made up for the regret of Taishan Peak. After chatting, everyone started to drink. However, Yu Yangyu didn't stop them because they had a good relationship. Knight Sorrow was also ruthless. He directly knocked down Tao Yuan, Zhou Zheng, and Lu Peng. 13, you're too arrogant. 8th senior brother will fight it out with you. Shi Tianlin stood out, wanting to continue fighting with Knight Sorrow. 8th senior brother, you guys are too shameless. Do you think that 13 has no one on his side? 9th junior sister, I'll drink with you. Yang Lei rolled up her sleeves and said. No way. Your family is too arrogant. What are our senior brothers waiting for? Hurry up and beat them up. Shi Tianlin roared. Ahem. 8th junior brother, this is too embarrassing. 2nd senior brother can't hold his liquor well, so he's a bit dizzy. Wu Qi immediately backed out. Baidu search AI go female sign shall say www.aichuxs.com 8th junior brother, I can't hold my liquor. Why don't you do it? Huang'an said. 11th junior brother, come here. Shi Tianlin looked at Mo Chen. 8th senior brother, forget it. 13 is still fine. 2 more won't be a problem. Then there's 9th senior sister and sister Chuyu. You know the result. Mo Chen shook his head. Fine. You guys don't have the code of brotherhood. Shi Tianlin curled his lips and said. If we have the code of brotherhood, we'll lose face with you. Look at you senior brothers. I'm impressed. Gong Xian looked at Shi Tianlin and said. 13, I'll let you off today. Shi Tianlin curled his lips and said. 8th junior brother, this is because no one is with you. If someone is with you, I will be with 13th junior brother, Qing Ji said with a smile. The group drank until late at night before going to rest. Knight Sorrow and the other 2 also returned to the bamboo forest peak. Without resting, Knight Sorrow pulled the 2 girls to his bamboo house. A crazy night was inevitable. After dawn, Knight Sorrow began to cultivate his spear arts. After Yang Lei and Sikong Chu washed up, they watched Knight Sorrow cultivate. Chuyu, it's a good thing we're together. Otherwise, it would have been terrible. My waist still hurts. Yang Lei said. Sikong Chuyu blushed and nodded. She knew this was the truth. Night Sorrow was really strong in that aspect. When Night Sorrow was cultivating, Aoi and Guanyi came over. Everyone sat down and chatted while drinking tea. Sixth senior sister, there's something I need to trouble you with. Night Sorrow put away his spear and said. What is it? You don't have to be so polite with me. Aoi said with a smile. Night Sorrow said that he needed level 2 and level 3 supplementary pills for Papa Gu and Chen Chen. That's not a big deal. I'll send someone to deliver it later when I'm done preparing. You don't have to worry about it. Don't talk about low-level medicinal pills. You can leave some 5th-level medicinal pills with me. I still have a lot of them, Qing Ji said. I still have level 5 pills. Night Sorrow took out some clear void pills and great void pills and gave them to Aoi. You're really rich. 12th junior brother, did you see that? This is 13. Senior brother and senior sister were able to reach level 5 and improve their cultivation quickly because of 13th's resources. Aoi said. I now understand 13th junior brother's prowess. Guanyi said with a smile. 12th, the resources that 13th junior brother prepared for us are all with me. If you need any pills in the future, you can ask me for them. Aoi said to Guanyi. 6th senior sister, if there's nothing else, you can go to Dongxian City. We also have a mansion there. You can bring your disciples there. Night Sorrow said to Aoi. I'll look for you when I want to go. Those little guys are still occupying your Longquan courtyard. Aoi said with a smile. I don't want to live there. It doesn't matter who lives there. Whenever 12th senior brother wants to move, you can look for me in Dongxian City. Night Sorrow said to Guanyi. Of course. We're all brothers. I won't be polite. Guanyi nodded. 13. Stay for a while before returning to Dongxian City. Aoi was reluctant to let Night Sorrow leave. 6th senior sister, I have to take responsibility. I'm now a member of Tianji Tower and the captain of the Blood Strike Guards. There are some things that I can't avoid, Night Sorrow said. 6th senior sister understands and supports you. This is what a man should do. Aoi nodded. After a while, Aoi and Guanyi left. She had only brought Guanyi over to take a look. My cultivation isn't high enough, and Master forbade me from leaving. Otherwise, I would have gone to Dongxian City and become a soldier under 13. Didn't you hear eldest senior brother say that 13's team was the strongest when it came to killing dark creatures? Killing rank 5 dark creatures was as easy as pie. That's what a real man is, Guanyi said with some yearning. Don't compare yourself to 13. He's strong at fighting above his level. He can even survive an attack from a venerable. However, you should know that there's only one 13 in Medicine Valley, and there's only one Night Sorrow in the eastern Xian region, Aoi said. I know. That's why I yearn for it. A real man should be like that. However, I'll cultivate steadily until I reach rank 5 before venturing out, Guanyi said. 13 has sacrificed too much in the past few years. You can say that he spent his time cultivating and fighting. Back then, when I was with him and watched him cultivate, my heart ached for him, Aoi said. Others only see the bright side. It's hard for them to see the painful side. He cultivated for less than 4 years, yet he has achieved so much. He must have sacrificed several times more than others, Guanyi said. Chapter 5:13. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We provide you with interesting novels to read. 6th senior martial sister, I don't quite understand what you mean. Guanyi said. Junior martial brother 13 is not only the Vice Valley Lord of our Medicine Valley. I heard from eldest senior martial brother that he has a very close relationship with Tianji Tower and the City Lord Mansion. Even the elders of Eastern Xian City have to give him face. He is the leader of the Tianji Tower's elite team. This means that he also has a very high status in the Tianjin Tower. Therefore, these two forces will take care of Knight Soro's safety. Whoever wants to touch him will have to think twice. Aoi explained. This is 13's ability, Guan Yi said with a smile. Knight Soro also planned to leave after talking to the two women. He did not have the intention to go to Pil Ding Cliff. He planned to go there after reaching the peak of the Void Inquiry stage. Even if the 8-Dragon Cauldron did not recognize him as its master, he could still communicate with it and ask it to contribute more to the Medicine Valley. After all, something like the Time Pagoda was still possible. After packing up, Knight Soro brought the two women to the small house in the bamboo forest to bid farewell to Yu Yangyu and his senior martial brothers. Then, they flew towards Pil Ding City. 12th's resurrection is really delightful. It can also be said that the knot in Master's heart has been untied. Yang Lei said. I didn't have any feelings for 12th's senior martial brother in the past. But now, I like him more. Knight Soro said. After getting along with him for a few days, Knight Soro also understood Guan Yi's character. Guan Yi was simple and straightforward. He was very easy to get along with. It's good that you can accept it. The first thing Master looks at when accepting a disciple is their temperament. Therefore, our senior martial brothers and sisters don't have any flaws in temperament. Yang Lei said. After arriving at Pil Ding City, they did not go to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. Instead, they directly took the teleportation formation to Eastern Xian City. After arriving at Eastern Xian City, the three of them walked back to Qing Xian Courtyard while shopping. After returning to the Qingxin Villa, Knight Soro first checked on the cultivation progress of the Blood Strike Guards and the Tianji Tower brothers. After looking around, Knight Soro discovered that the members of the Blood Strike Guard had all reached Tier 5. Only Qin Zhen was at the Severed Soul stage. Qin Zhen could also be considered a member of the Tianji Tower team. Tianji Tower was a little behind. Lei Bao and Lei Zheng were very close to the 5th stage, but they had not reached it yet. Ho Qingjie was a little behind, but everyone's progress was already very fast. After all, they had only been cultivating for a short period of time. Junior brother Knight Soro, you're really something. You ran for half a month and left your guests here? Ling Long appeared with an ugly expression on her face. Clearly, she was angry with Knight Soro. Guests. Senior sister Ling Long, are you still a guest? This place is no different from your own home, Knight Soro said. Humph, you're quite reasonable. After hearing Knight Soro's words, Ling Long couldn't refute, but she still looked angry. Knight Soro smiled. There's nothing to be angry about. Let's go to the back and have some tea. When they arrived at the main building in Knight Soro's backyard, he took out a tea set and began to brew tea. After drinking a pot of tea, Ling Long left. She was a little dissatisfied, but she also knew that Knight Soro hadn't done anything wrong. Knight Soro expressed a friendly attitude, and the matter was over. Damn, I don't know how I provoked her, Knight Soro said as he looked at the teacup in his hand. We didn't do anything wrong, but from her point of view, we neglected her, Sikong Chuyu said. Maybe. She should understand that I have my own things to do. I can't just lie in the mansion all the time, Knight Soro said with a smile. While the three of them were talking, Ning Qingfeng came in. Knight Soro, there have been people coming to see Chu Yu for the past 2 days. Chapter 221, last chapter, KW, who is it? Knight Soro asked. It's a middle-aged woman. I can't see through her cultivation, but she's very polite, Ning Qingfeng said. I don't know who it is. Knight Soro thought for a moment, but couldn't think of a reason. She'll probably come again. She's been coming almost every day for the past 2 days. 13, Chuyu, do you want to see her? If not, I'll continue to refuse, Ning Qingfeng said. There's no need. We don't have anyone we can't see, Knight Soro said. Okay. If she comes again, I'll bring her here. Ning Qingfeng said and left. Knight Soro is very likely to be from the Sikong family, Sikong Chuyu said. So what? If you don't go back, who can come and take her away? Night Sorrow said. Ji Yu's family suffered a blow. They probably won't force me to marry again. I'm just afraid that my parents will ask me to go back, Sikong Chuyu said. If they ask you to go back, then go back. It's fine as long as they don't force you, Night Sorrow said. You idiot. If I go back and the other elders in the family don't approve of you, then what? Can't we be together? Sikong Chuyu looked at Night Sorrow with some annoyance. Don't worry. When the time comes, Aunt Fei will arrange for someone to follow Night Sorrow to the Sikong family. The Sikong family is very powerful in the Qingtian region, but it won't go as far as to not give face to Tianjin Tower. After Sikong Chuyu finished speaking and Night Sorrow was thinking about how to deal with it, Wu Lingfei walked in. Aunt Fei, you're here. Night Sorrow and the other two stood up to greet her. I went out to check on the situation outside. Everything went well, so I came back. You don't have to worry about Chuyu. Let nature take its course, Sikong Chuyu said. Thank you, Auntie Fei, Yishang said. The key is Chuyu's parents' attitude. You don't have to care about other people's opinions. In terms of excellence, you're not inferior to anyone. In terms of family background, you're my relative. Anyone can try to look down on you, Wu Lingfei said. Then I'm at ease. By the way, I have something to ask Aunt Fei. Please take a seat. Night Sorrow pulled out a chair for Wu Lingfei and poured her a cup of tea. What do you want to say? Wu Lingfei said. Aunt Fei, what are the extreme attributes of the death attribute? Night Sorrow asked. It's the darkness attribute and the netherworld attribute. They're also known as the darkness-killing Qi and the netherworld baleful Qi. Why do you ask? Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. A few days ago, I saw an energy that could suppress Chuyu's water attribute. I suspect it's the extreme attribute of the death attribute, Night Sorrow said. The extreme attribute of the high level? That's a very serious problem. Tell me, what's going on? Wu Lingfei frowned. Night Sorrow then told her about ancient Taichuan. I hope there's no problem. There are some things you don't know. Taichuan is the battlefield between the 9 regions world and the netherworld. The netherworld is very strong, but during that era, our 9 regions world had an era-suppressing expert. That's why our 9 regions world didn't lose. However, the entrance shouldn't be in the eastern Xian region, said Wu Lingfei. Then where is the entrance? Asked Night Sorrow. Chapter 514. A genius remembers love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Wait until my cultivation base improves a bit more, then I'll go take a look. This is still a problem, Night Sorrow said. All right then, Auntie Fei won't go there. Once your cultivation is high enough, you can go investigate and tell Auntie Fei the results. We don't need to care about other places, but the eastern Xian region must be stabilized, said Wu Lingfei. Okay, is Auntie Fei's protective artifact good? Night Sorrow nodded. From Wu Lingfei's words, he understood Wu Lingfei's sense of responsibility. It's useful. The polar lunar wheel is a sacred treasure. Although it is inferior to the space-time pagoda in terms of overall strength, it is not bad in terms of pure attack and defense. Wu Lingfei stood up and waved her hand. A crescent-shaped moon appeared out of thin air. Wu Lingfei's body was in the empty space of the crescent-shaped moon. Original version hair then, the full moon quickly spun around Wu Lingfei, and a half moon slashed out. The half moon slashed out, and a black spatial crack appeared behind it. After unleashing a crescent moon slash, concubine Wu Lingfei waved her arm and recalled the polar moon wheel. It's too beautiful. Its attack and defense are also very shocking. Yang Lei's eyes were filled with astonishment. If I were to fight Saint Skyscraping now, it would be hard to say who would have the upper hand. After all, the spacetime pagoda doesn't belong to Auntie Fei, so they can't truly communicate with each other. Love go little say Ku Wu Lingfei said with a smile. Tianji Tower's foundation is really deep. They even have such a magical weapon. Night Sorrow sighed with emotion. Actually, the full moon chakram was originally a pair. Aside from the polar moon chakram, there was also a true moon chakram. However, the true moon chakram was lost along with the palace lord during the ancient times. The true moon chakram was the main chakram, and this polar moon chakram was the subsidiary chakram, Wu Lingfei said. Then the true moon will be even stronger? Night Sorrow asked in surprise. Yes, the power is different. Wu Lingfei nodded. Auntie Fei, I have the Golden Phoenix flexible armor and the space-time treasure pagoda to protect me. There is no difference whether I use the ice silkworm flexible armor or not. I want to give it to my 9th senior sister. This way, she can increase her ability to protect herself and I can feel more at ease, Night Sorrow said. You have the space-time treasure pagoda to protect you, so you should be able to protect yourself. If the space-time treasure pagoda can't protect you, then the ice silkworm soft clothes are useless. Wu Lingfei nodded, agreeing with Night Sorrow's opinion. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs. Calm Night Sorrow entered the bamboo house and took off the ice silk robe. Then, he handed it over to Wu Lingfei. Wu Lingfei then helped Yang Lei register the ice silk robe. Yang Lei already has a protective spirit artifact, so it's not suitable for Chu Yu to not have one. This is the snow scale arm guard. After activating it, its effects are not bad. Aunt Fei will also help you recognize it as your master. After speaking, Wu Lingfei took out an arm guard made of white scales. Then, she helped Sikong Chuyu register the ice silk robe. Thank you, Aunt Fei. Night Sorrow and the other two bowed to Wu Lingfei. You're welcome. Aunt Fei has no use for these things. In the future, if I don't hand them over to Tianji Tower, I'll leave them for the city lord's palace. In addition, in a few days, Aunt Fei plans to destroy the Death Space Dark Overlord connected to the Island of Darkness, Wu Lingfei said. Aunt Fei can go in? Night Sorrow asked in surprise. That space is not a large space. The power of the space passage connecting it to the 9-domain world is not very strong. It should be within Aunt Fei's range of tolerance. However, the avatar is still lacking, so only the main body can go, Wu Lingfei said. Then I'm relieved, Night Sorrow said. When Aunt Fei familiarizes herself with the extreme moon wheel, we'll set off, Wu Lingfei said. Can I go too? Night Sorrow asked excitedly. Of course, there are still some treasures in an uninhabited space. Don't you want them? Anyway, Aunt Fei can bring one person in, Wu Lingfei said with a smile. Go. How can I not go? Night Sorrow said excitedly. It was rare to see a battle between top experts. Afterward, Wu Lingfei went to the observation tower to cultivate. Night Sorrow and the other two chatted for a while before returning to their rooms to cultivate. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu both wanted to feel the protective spirit artifacts. After cultivating the foundation for a night, Night Sorrow began to cultivate his spear arts in the courtyard. After cultivating his spear arts, Night Sorrow was drinking tea with the two girls. Ning Qingfeng brought a middle-aged woman to the backyard of Qingxin courtyard. Auntie Tianyu, why have you come? Seeing this woman, Sikong Chuyu happily greeted her. Sikong Tianyu was not on the same side as Sikong Tianjing and Sikong Tianhua, who had forced her. It could be said that she was an elder who was very close to Sikong Tianding. I missed you, my baby. If I didn't come out to find you, would I expect you to go back? Sikong Tianyu said with a smile. Night Sorrow, 9th senior sister, this is my Aunt Tianyu. She loves me very much, Sikong Chuyu said happily. Greetings, Senior Tianyu. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei both stood up and saluted. Chuyu, why don't you introduce him to your aunt? Sikong Tianyu said with a smile on her face. Aunt, then I will introduce him directly. This is Night Sorrow, and he is also someone I approve of. We are already together. This is Yang Lei, Night Sorrow's 9th senior sister. We are good sisters, Sikong Chuyu said. Aunt already understands the situation very well. Yi Shang is very good. Aunt also knows about the relationship between Yang Lei and the two of you. Aunt didn't come with the intention of breaking up the two of you. However, since the patriarch has spoken, Aunt can't possibly not come, right? Sikong Tianyu said. What does the old ancestor mean? Sikong Chuyu asked. The old ancestor doesn't know about your situation. He said that no one will force you in the future, but the husband you find must be approved by him, Sikong Tianyu said. Then Aunt, do you think he can pass? Sikong Chuyu pointed at Night Sorrow and asked. Personally, there is nothing to say. If he can't, then no one can. But you have to know that some people in the family value their family background very much, Sikong Tianyu said after some hesitation. Family background? Which big family doesn't have their ancestors who worked hard from nothing? This way of thinking is wrong, Sikong Chuyu said with some anger. Don't be angry with your aunt. I'm just here to pass on a message. I'm not here to force you to do anything. Hurry up and make some tea. Your family is really hard to enter. Sikong Tianyu found a seat and sat down. I'm not going back. As for family background, Night Sorrow's family background is not bad either. It's just that it's not convenient to say. It would shock people to death. Even Ji Yu's family is not good enough, Sikong Chuyu said while making tea. Is it that scary? You can't lie to your aunt, Sikong Tianyu said with some surprise. I'm not lying to my aunt. There's no need. We don't plan to say it either. Besides, the Dongxian city lord is Night Sorrow's aunt. Is that enough? Sikong Chuyu said. Chapter 5:15. A genius remembers love in 1 second? We provide you with interesting novels to read. I'm not going back. Auntie can say that she didn't see me and only went to investigate the situation. She can report the situation to the old ancestor and the family. Sikong Chuyu said. All right, who asked you to be Auntie's precious niece? We'll do as you say. Sikong Tianyu said. Thank you, senior. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Sikong Tianyu. He could tell that Sikong Tianyu was truly looking out for Sikong Chuyu. You don't mind calling me Auntie, right? Sikong Tianyu looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Night Sorrow greets Auntie Tianyu. Night Sorrow bowed. Auntie, ninth senior sister is the same as me. She's willing to follow Night Sorrow. We're a family. Sikong Chuyu introduced Yang Lei to Sikong Tianyu again. Yang Lei greets Auntie Tianyu. Yang Lei said to Sikong Tianyu. If it were any other girl, I would definitely feel wronged. But now, I don't think so. I just feel that this kid got off too easy. But he's really outstanding. Auntie is happy to see you guys getting along so well. Sikong Tianyu said with a smile. Night Sorrow then asked someone to arrange a guest room for Sikong Tianyu. According to Sikong Tianyu's intention, she wanted to waste some time and go back to report. After making arrangements for Sikong Tianyu, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate. While Night Sorrow was cultivating, Sikong Tianyu also came to watch and nodded from time to time. She was an elder of the Sikong family and also one of the honorables of the Sikong family. She had a good eye. She could clearly see Night Sorrow's strength and potential. On this day, while Night Sorrow was cultivating, Wu Lingfei appeared. When she appeared, she was wearing a veil. Auntie Fei is here. Night Sorrow and the other two greeted. Wu Lingfei nodded and looked at Sikong Tianyu. Sikong clan, Sikong Tianyu greets senior. Sikong Tianyu bowed because she couldn't tell how strong Wu Lingfei was. I know why you're here. Don't mention anything about Night Sorrow and Chu Yu's family background. It's meaningless. There should be someone called Sikong Luyun in your family. Tell him that I'm the Golden Phoenix and Night Sorrow are my only family. That should be enough, Wu Lingfei said. Sikong Tianyu understands. I will report back. Sikong Tianyu was extremely shocked. In the 9 regions world, perhaps only a few people knew of the name Wu Lingfei, but at the level of supremacy, everyone knew of the name Golden Phoenix. It was a taboo among supremacies. Alright, Night Sorrow, follow Auntie Fei to the Dark Island. Let's clear it out. Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. Is latest chapter, section T, J above 9-inch alright? Night Sorrow was extremely excited. Knowing that Wu Lingfei was sure to win, he was looking forward to a top-level battle. Wu Lingfei waved her arm and wrapped Night Sorrow in her arms, leaving the mansion. Chuyu, even if you go home with me, no one can confine you. Even the old ancestor has to give face to Lord Golden Phoenix. I can't tell how strong she is even with my cultivation, Sikong Tianyu said, looking in the direction Wu Lingfei left. Auntie, the family doesn't know that Lord Golden Phoenix is the one who defeated Qingtian Saint from Qingtian region? Sikong Chuyu asked. The family received news of the battle between Eastern Xian region and Qingtian region, but we only know that Eastern Xian region sent out a saint and forced Qingtian Saint to retreat. We don't know the details or your relationship. Sikong Tianyu shook her head. At that time, Auntie Fei had just entered the saint realm for half a month and didn't have a suitable saint treasure in hand. Now that Auntie Fei's cultivation has stabilized and she has a top-level saint treasure in hand, why don't you let Qingtian Saint try again? Sikong Chuyu said. She had absolute confidence in Wu Lingfei. Baidu search AI Go Xiao Shua www.aichux. Lord Golden Phoenix was an invincible venerable when she was at the venerable realm. Naturally, it won't be a problem for her to enter the saint realm. Do you want to go home? I don't think there will be any problems with the family, Sikong Tianyu said. I don't want to go back for the time being. When Night Sorrow is stronger, I'll ask him to propose marriage, Sikong Chuyu said with a red face. Alright, I'll go back first. The results of this investigation will shock the family, Sikong Tianyu said. After chatting with Sikong Chuyu for a while, Sikong Tianyu left Qingxin courtyard. She was very happy that her niece had a good home. She was very satisfied with Night Sorrow. Wu Lingfei took Night Sorrow to the teleportation formation and teleported to Linhai City. Then, Wu Lingfei took Night Sorrow and flew toward the Dark Island. This time, Wu Lingfei didn't fly high in the sky. She was a saint and had mastered the power of rules. She could resist and ignore the attacks of the Realm Sea. Similarly, Night Sorrow had the Void Fate Pearl to protect his spirit sea, so he wasn't afraid of the attacks of the Realm Sea. After becoming a saint, Wu Lingfei flew at full speed and covered a distance of several thousand kilometers in a very short time. The Blood Strike guards of the City Lord Mansion were guarding the Dark Island. There were 3 venerable commanders. When they saw Wu Lingfei arrive, they all bowed to greet her. Wu Lingfei took Night Sorrow to the entrance of the spatial tunnel. She merged the clone that was sitting cross-legged into her body. Then, she pulled Night Sorrow to her side and propped up a light green protective shield. She then struck the space with her right hand. Following Wu Lingfei's palm, the energy within the spatial tunnel began to riot. Seeing the energy riot, Wu Lingfei pulled Yi Shang into the spatial tunnel. Standing beside Wu Lingfei, Night Sorrow felt countless ripples of energy attack Wu Lingfei's protective shield. However, they were all blocked. Soon, the two of them stood in the death space. Aunt Fei, you came in so quickly? Night Sorrow asked in surprise. This is the power of darkness mixed with the power of death. It's suppressed by the power of life, so it can't do anything to you, Wu Lingfei said. Then we'll go now? Night Sorrow said. Let's go and get rid of that fella first. We'll continue to search for resources here. As Wu Lingfei spoke, she killed all the darkness creatures near the spatial tunnel. After that, Night Sorrow pointed in a direction. Wu Lingfei brought Night Sorrow and flew towards the location of the Dark Heaven Vault. Night Sorrow had to fly for 3 to 4 days with his Tianyu. Wu Lingfei only used 2 hours to arrive. Aunt Fei, we're a few hundred miles away. Night Sorrow said. Aunt Fei can feel it. In a while, when Aunt Fei fights with it, you can enter the spacetime pagoda and use your soul force to observe the battle. You can learn from it. Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. I understand. Aunt Fei, you have to pay attention to your safety. Night Sorrow said. Let's go over. The death energy here is really dense. After saying that, Wu Lingfei brought Night Sorrow and flew. Wu Lingfei only needed a few breaths of time to cover a distance of a few hundred miles. After they arrived, Wu Lingfei casually tossed Night Sorrow onto an ancient tree. After that, she soared into the air. At this moment, the figure below the crack in the heaven vault also stood up. Who are you? You dare to come to this seat's place? Are you courting death? This was a man with tattoos on his face. He stared at Wu Lingfei and roared. Chapter 5:16. A genius remembers love in 1 second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Do you think you can be arrogant just because you're a saint? You've just entered the saint realm, so it's not a big deal. I, the Black Shadow Venerable, will let you try. A venerable can also kill a saint. The middle-aged man left the mountain and rushed towards Wu Lingfei. At this moment, Night Sorrow noticed that this man was not ordinary. It was over 6 meters tall and had a pair of large curved horns on its head. The horns were densely packed with veins. At this time, Wu Lingfei attacked. Her left hand slapped forward, and the ordinary protective chi shield around her body changed into a light green life chi shield. At this moment, the Black Shadow Venerable was attacking Wu Lingfei with the strong death chi. In order to avoid being attacked by the death chi, it was best for her to use the protective chi cover of the nature of life to restrain the nature of death. As Wu Lingfei's palm struck out, a world of ice and snow appeared in front of her, sealing the death energy and preventing it from reaching her. After stabilizing the situation, Wu Lingfei once again used Ice Seal. Wu Lingfei froze the Black Shadow Venerable twice in a row. Then Wu Lingfei began to rush forward, and froze the Black Shadow Venerable again. Wu Lingfei didn't freeze the Black Shadow Venerable directly, but she managed to keep him within a certain range. Then Wu Lingfei waved the long sword in her right hand. The green sword light cut through the death energy and went directly to the Black Shadow Venerable. Starting 3A, the Black Shadow Venerable waved his right hand and slashed out his saber. The sword light and saber light collided, and then both of them were shattered. Even if you have grasped the power of rules, it's useless. Today, you must die. As Wu Lingfei spoke, the chains of rules of life appeared. A dozen chains of rules of life whipped towards the Black Shadow Saint. Saint of Life, you are the Saint of Life? The Black Shadow Venerable was shocked. High-level attributes were very rare, not to mention the attribute of life that could restrain him. It was hard for him to accept this. That's right. So, from the moment you allowed the dark creatures in the space to attack our world, your fate was sealed. Wu Lingfei said while attacking. Don't push me too far, the Black Shadow Venerable roared. Didn't you want to kill a saint? Today, I will kill you. Wu Lingfei roared, and the polar moon wool behind her flew out. The polar moon wool moved so fast that it cut through the middle of the Black Shadow Venerable's body. Ah! The Black Shadow Venerable screamed, I'm immortal. Come on. After the Black Shadow Venerable screamed and roared, his body turned into a cloud of black mist and floated backward. The Black Shadow Venerable, who had turned into mist, was no longer affected. Both Wu Lingfei's sword light and the polar moon wool went through the black mist. I don't believe I can't kill you. Wu Lingfei let out a roar, and a green sea of life energy appeared, wrapping the black mist in it. Kill me? What a joke. My true form is the hidden fog beast. As long as the fog exists, I will not die. What can you do to me? The voice came from the black fog. The hidden fog beast can turn into the black fog. After turning into the black fog, it can't attack and can't be attacked. But I can refine you slowly. Wu Lingfei's body shook as she transformed into a golden king bird that was dozens of meters long. Next, the golden king bird with the aura of a king screeched and opened its beak to suck the black mist into its body. After absorbing the black mist, the golden monarch bird let loose a cry before transforming back into the dancing spirit concubine. Wu Lingfei's figure flashed and landed in front of Yishang. "Aunt Fei, you?" Night Sorrow was shocked. "Night Sorrow, are you scared?" Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. "I'm not scared. Because you care about me." "Aunt Fei, are you okay?" Night Sorrow was shocked and worried. "I'm fine. Aunt Fei has a unique talent. The space in my body can refine it directly. This is also because I have a way to restrain it. Otherwise, ordinary saints wouldn't be able to do anything to it." Wu Lingfei said. "Aunt Fei, be careful. Don't get turned over by it." Night Sorrow looked at Wu Lingfei's delicate body and said. "I won't. There are some things I haven't told you because I'm afraid you won't be able to accept it." Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and said. "I won't. Everything has a spirit. There's no difference between humans and beasts. The only difference is evil and righteousness." Night Sorrow said. "You're wrong. Beasts are a general term. In fact, there are also strange beasts and spirit beasts. Aunt Fei's true form is a golden phoenix, so her name is Golden Phoenix. If it's not necessary, Aunt Fei doesn't want to fight with her true form. After all, she's a human now." Wu Lingfei said. "I understand. Aunt Fei, you have to pay attention to your body." Night Sorrow reminded Wu Lingfei. "It's fine. No matter if it's its true form or its human form, it's a dead end. Right now, it only has half of its life left. We should be able to refine it before the sky turns dark." Wu Lingfei spoke. "In that case, I can be at ease." Night Sorrow nodded, feeling much more at ease in his heart. After that, the two of them arrived at the bottom of the heaven vault. The law energy here is very strong. No wonder its cultivation base didn't rise, but its cultivation base is high enough. Luckily, we came in time. If we came late, this fellow would have entered the Saint Realm. At that time, things would truly be difficult to deal with. Emichim. There are spirit stones and crystals below. However, it's very deep." After Wu Lingfei spoke, she got Night Sorrow to retreat. After that, she waved her hand and blasted the ground. Under Wu Lingfei's violent attacks, the peak of the mountain was flattened. After the time it takes to brew a cup of tea passed, Night Sorrow saw many spirit stones shining brightly. There were also darkness crystals and a small number of death crystals. "Digging is too slow. Wait in the air and collect the spirit stones and crystals." After Wu Lingfei spoke, she waved her hand, causing the ground to shatter. The shattered rocks shot out in all directions as the spirit stones and crystals flew up into the air. Night Sorrow waved his hand and collected the spirit stones and crystals. An instant later, all the spirit stones and crystals were collected. "Aunt Fei, there are so many spirit stones and crystals." After Wu Lingfei stopped, Night Sorrow took out the spirit stones and crystals he collected. There were over 20 peak-grade spirit stones, over 200 high-grade spirit stones, 50 to 60 darkness crystals and over 20 death crystals. "Not bad. Keep them." Wu Lingfei smiled. "Aunt Fei, keep them. I have them." Night Sorrow shook his head. "Give the peak-grade spirit stones to me. You can keep the rest. The people around you also need resources. Aunt Fei only cares about whether you have resources or not. You don't have to care about others." Wu Lingfei spoke. "Okay. Aunt Fei, just tell me what you need. I have a lot of resources here." Night Sorrow said. "I know you have. You gave me a lot of life crystals. It's enough." Wu Lingfei said. "That's good." Night Sorrow nodded. Wu Lingfei sighed and said, "Ani Fei told you that after knowing you, Ani Fei's path became much smoother. This is because I borrowed your luck. Otherwise, it would be too difficult to enter the Saint realm. Aunt Fay, don't say that. I'm embarrassed. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Chapter 5:17. Genius 1 second remember love go/little. Here's a wonderful novel for you to read. Auntie Fay's true form is very beautiful, holy and majestic, even I want to worship you, Night Sorrow said with a smile. It's good that you think so. There aren't many people worthy of Auntie Fay's attention, and you are the only one I treat as family, so as long as you don't mind, Auntie Fay is very happy. Wu Ling Fei patted Night Sorrow's shoulder and said. In fact, she had been observing Night Sorrow's situation for a while to see if Night Sorrow would reject her because she was a spirit beast in human form. With her powerful soul force, Wu Ling Fei didn't miss the slightest change in Night Sorrow's expression. She then found that Night Sorrow was only worried and didn't show any other emotional changes, which made her feel very relieved. Auntie Fay, don't think too much. I won't say anything about this matter, but if anyone dares to talk nonsense about it in the future, I will never let them go, Night Sorrow said. Good, Auntie Fay didn't dote on you for nothing, Wu Ling Fei said with a smile on her face. Of course, Auntie Fay is my only auntie, Night Sorrow said. Then the two set up camp and fought for a while. Wu Ling Fei had consumed a lot of her soul force, and she still had to refine the hidden fog beast. After setting up camp, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu to find a water source and made a pot of tea after returning. At that moment, Wu Ling Fei walked out of the tent and waved her arm, causing a mass of death chi to appear and dissipate, but Wu Ling Fei was holding a crystal core in her hand. Although this guy was a venerable, its crystal core was already a half-step saint crystal, Wu Ling Fei said. Did you kill it? Night Sorrow asked. It couldn't be any more dead. It was arrogant and full of confidence because it thought its innate talent was too great and it couldn't be attacked by energy, but inside Auntie Fei's space, Auntie Fei directly crushed its soul with ice, so even if it didn't want to die, it was impossible. Wu Ling Fei threw the half-step saint crystal to Yishan. Auntie Fei is so domineering. Night Sorrow gave Wu Ling Fei a thumbs up and poured a cup of tea for her. The problem is solved. We'll search elsewhere tomorrow. As long as there are high-level dark and undead creatures, we'll eliminate them. We won't give them a chance to rise, Wu Ling Fei said. After Auntie Fei clears out the high-level creatures here, our eastern Xian region can use this place as a training ground. We can let rank 3 and rank 4 cultivators come here to gain experience. If we continuously attack and harvest, the dark creatures won't have any chance to rise. Night Sorrow spoke his thoughts. %C. Only 1/8 is M equals others are robbers plus K, that's a good idea. Let's do it this way. If cultivators keep coming in to train, the dark creatures won't be able to grow. Wu Ling Fei agreed with Night Sorrow's idea. After a night's rest, Wu Ling Fei took Night Sorrow to walk in the dark space to collect materials and ores. Night Sorrow, you don't have to worry. When you enter the Venerable Realm, Auntie Fei will help you arrange for your reincarnation spear to advance. Lord K is a refiner. Our Tianji Tower also has resources stored. We can still order a spiritual weapon. In addition, other than the rough array engravings, the materials of your reincarnation spear are top-notch. It already has the strength of a spiritual weapon. Wu Ling Fei noticed that Night Sorrow paid special attention to ores and ores. She understood Night Sorrow's thoughts. Auntie Fei knows what I'm worried about. I don't want to give up on the reincarnation spear, so I want to get some materials and think of a way to advance it in the future. Night Sorrow nodded and said. In terms of defense, you have the time-space treasure pagoda and the golden phoenix soft armor. It's enough. So if you care about refining materials, it can only be the reincarnation spear. Wu Ling Fei looked at Night Sorrow and said with a smile. Auntie Fei, you said before that there's only one possibility for the golden phoenix soft armor to shatter. What's going on? Night Sorrow asked. The golden phoenix soft armor is actually formed from Auntie Fei's own feathers after she transformed. It's very flexible. If it shatters, it means that Auntie Fei has fallen. Otherwise, there won't be any problems. Wu Lingfei said. Then I understand. The Golden Phoenix soft armor will never shatter. Night Sorrow said as he reached out and touched the Golden Phoenix soft armor. Every day, he collected medicinal materials and refining materials during the day. At night, when they set up camp, Night Sorrow turned all of them into medicinal pills. During the day, Night Sorrow didn't make any moves. Those who weren't late Fifth Order couldn't train him. And late Fifth Order dark creatures were basically invisible. Half a month passed. Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow went to the edge of the spatial barrier a few times. Wu Lingfei's speed was fast and her soul power was strong. The area covered by her soul power was huge. Therefore, the speed of her search was fast. Night Sorrow's cultivation base also improved rapidly. His true Qi cultivation base had also reached the peak of the Fifth Order Void Inquiry stage. He could advance to the next realm at any time. His Myriad Dao treasure cannon had also reached the Second Order Dao querying realm. This is an incomplete spatial zone. Other than the dark energy and death energy that descended from the heaven vault, the other energies here are very low. Therefore, there are fewer resources here. Wu Lingfei said. That's it then. We won't continue searching. We have to give the cultivators a chance. Night Sorrow said. All right. Let's go out then. There aren't any high-level dark creatures here. Our goal has been achieved. Wu Lingfei nodded. She admired Night Sorrow's magnanimity. After that, the two of them flew back to the entrance of the spatial passageway. Outside the spatial passageway, Wu Lingfei set up an illusion formation. Won't our people be affected if we come in? Night Sorrow asked. No. This formation only hides the location of the spatial passageway. The dark creatures won't be able to see the entrance of the spatial passageway from here. However, it won't affect our people. As soon as Wu Lingfei finished speaking, she put on her veil and brought Night Sorrow out of the spatial passageway. After exiting the spatial passageway, Wu Lingfei asked everyone to retreat, leaving only a small team to guard the passageway. After that, Wu Lingfei brought Night Sorrow back to Linhai City. The source of the disaster has been dealt with. We discovered it in time. If the hidden fog beast has really advanced to the Saint Realm, it would be quite troublesome to kill it. While flying with Night Sorrow, Wu Lingfei said. It's just that it's unlucky. Night Sorrow said. It's not that it's unlucky. It's the leader of this space. Those dark spirit corpses and rank 5 dark creatures should all be under its control. Those dark creatures attacked our eastern Xian region because it sent them to scout ahead. It's preparing for its attack after advancing. It won't die if it doesn't do it. It's just that its time is up. Wu Lingfei said. Then it deserves to die. Night Sorrow said. From a righteous point of view, invading isn't righteous. That's why invading has always been a loss. Wu Lingfei said. In other words, they invaded the eastern Xian region first, and we entered the dark space after. We didn't invade, but counterattacked. That's why we won. Night Sorrow nodded. Yes, it's true that the bigger fist is the reason, but don't do things that go against the principles of righteousness and morality. It's not worth it, said Wu Lingfei to Yi Shang, reminding him. Chapter 518. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I'll provide you with wonderful novels to read. Of course, a man should strive for self-improvement. It's normal to take revenge and complain. Love go little say, Chu Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. Then I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. Aunt Fei isn't telling you this to pressure you. Just follow your heart. As long as you don't go against your conscience, it's fine. Wu Lingfei turned to Night Sorrow. She didn't want to affect Night Sorrow's state of mind because of this conversation. That would be a serious problem. In the early stages of cultivation, true qi and cultivation were more important. But in the later stages, it was the state of mind. If the state of mind was low, then it would be difficult to raise one's realm. It would also be easy to develop a heart demon, leading to cultivation deviation. Soon, the two returned to Waterfront City and teleported to Dongxian City. Back in Dongxian City, Wu Lingfei brought Night Sorrow to the city lord's mansion to see Kuan Nan and Dai Tianxiang. The high-level dark creatures in the death space connected to the Black Island have all been killed. There shouldn't be any left. I've left a small team behind to guard it. Next, arrange for cultivators under the 5th stage to enter the death space once or twice a year. That way, the dark creatures won't be able to grow. As for the transfer of people, you can communicate with the 7 great sections. If their disciples are willing to enter, then let them. If not, use the city lord's mansion's people, Wu Lingfei said to Kuan Nan. This subordinate understands. This matter will be handled well. Kuan Nan said. Elder Kuan Nan, your attainments and formations are not bad. Later, seal the passage. Make the seal stronger. You'll open it every time the trial is held. That way, no one will barge in and cause trouble. Wu Lingfei thought for a moment before giving another order. After everything was done, Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow returned to the mansion. When they returned, they saw Ling Long. However, Ling Long looked at Night Sorrow with dissatisfaction. Mistress Wu, why didn't you bring Ling Long along? Ling Long asked. Wu Lingfei brought Night Sorrow to the death space and didn't bring her along. She felt very regretful in her heart, and this was also the reason why she was dissatisfied with Night Sorrow. The spatial tunnel is suppressed by the power of law. I can't bring 2 people with me, but Night Sorrow knows the route and can lead the way. Alright, you guys go ahead. Wu Lingfei nodded to Night Sorrow and Exquisite and walked towards the tower. Did you get a lot of benefits this time? Ling Long asked. Not bad, just some materials. Night Sorrow said with a smile. In fact, he could understand Ling Long's mentality. It was just like back in Bamboo Garden Village, when Father Gu and the others went to Gunnan Town, they didn't bring him along. Was the battle intense? Exquisite followed Night Sorrow to the backyard. Very intense. While replying to Ling Long, Night Sorrow greeted Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, who had just stopped fighting in the yard. After sitting down, Night Sorrow casually talked about the hidden fog beast. Of course, Night Sorrow didn't mention Wu Lingfei's situation. He just said that the hidden fog beast's soul had been destroyed. Not afraid of energy attacks, and that sword and spear had no effect. Her talent is too strong. However, Aunt Fei is stronger. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. That's right. The problem of the dark space can be considered solved. The crisis will no longer exist. Night Sorrow nodded. After staying for a while, Ling Long left. Night Sorrow, Yang Lei, and Sikong Chuyu drank tea. Chuyu, is there any news from your family? Night Sorrow asked. No. Even if my family reacted, it won't be so fast. They also have to go through the normal channels to come here. Sikong Chuyu said. The 2 girls knew that there was a strategic teleportation formation between the Eastern Profound region and the Tianji Tower. However, it was an absolute secret and they did not know the exact location. With the strategic teleportation formation, one could teleport to the underground palace of the headquarters of the Tianji Tower. However, even venerated realm experts would need some time to travel there. After having dinner with the 2 girls, Night Sorrow went into seclusion. He wanted to improve his true chi cultivation to the 6th level of the Void Inquiry stage. Not long after entering the death space, Night Sorrow reached the peak of the 5th level of the Void Inquiry stage. After settling down, he was already on the verge of breaking through. Seeing Night Sorrow going to break through, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu exchanged glances. There was already a gap between them and Night Sorrow. They had just reached the 5th level of the Void Inquiry stage not long ago, but Night Sorrow was already advancing towards the 6th level of the Void Inquiry stage. This was the gap between them. This guy has already caught up to the results of our years of hard work after just a few years of bitter cultivation. Yang Lei said. This is just what we can see. The energy in his body and the cultivation of his soul are both increasing. These invisible strengths are even more terrifying. Sikong Chuyu said. His rapid improvement will save us a lot of trouble. It will also be easy to solve your problem. Yang Lei said. Actually, with Aunt Fei's help, as long as my family members aren't stupid, they won't stop you. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. In the Sikong clan, Sikong Tianyu reported to Sikong Tianding about his meeting with Sikong Chuyu and his investigation of night sorrow. With spirit stones to pave the way, it was still possible for Sikong Tianyu to investigate some of night sorrow's growth experiences. He is not even 20 years old yet, but his cultivation base is close to the peak of the 5th level of the void inquiry stage. He has been fighting against opponents who are at a higher level than him. This is too shocking. Sikong Tianding muttered in a low voice. As for his family background, Chuyu vaguely mentioned that Ji Yu's clan isn't strong enough. We know that Chuyu has never lied or boasted, so there is no need for her to tell us half of the story. There should be something that I haven't found out yet. However, on the surface, he seems to be an orphan who was adopted. Sikong Tianyu said. This is the problem. If there is an actual family background, everything will be clear. However, this adoption may be the problem. The most important thing is that Lord Golden Phoenix has spoken. Our Sikong clan can't reject her. Sikong Tianding said after thinking for a while. Only, Yi Zheng's edition, all his S0 edition U is a pirate % edition during this period of time. The news of the war between the Qing-Tian region and the Eastern Xian region had spread, and Jin Huang's name spread again. Jin Huang was the city lord of the Eastern Xian city and the lord of the Tianji Tower in the Eastern Xian region. However, no one knew Jin Huang's appearance and background. This was the biggest secret. Yes. Lord Golden Phoenix asked me to pass a message to Granduncle. It seems like she knows Granduncle. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said that. Sikong Tianyu said. Actually, these aren't very important. Tianyu, what do you think of that young man? Is Chuyu happy over there? Sikong Tianding asked. If the conversation at the beginning was for the sake of the clan's interests, then now, Sikong Tianding was asking as a father. Very good. Anyway, I like him very much. I believe third brother will like him too. If he still can't enter the eyes of our Sikong clan, no one will be able to marry Chuyu. Sikong Tianyu said. Chapter 519. Geniuses remember love in 1 second? We will provide you with interesting novels to read. Next, Sikong Tianding and Sikong Tianyu went to meet the old ancestor of the Sikong clan, Sikong Luyan. Then, Sikong Tianyu reported the results of his investigation. Sage Golden Phoenix. With a sage backing him, there's no need to talk about his family background. If he is outstanding, we shouldn't interfere in this matter. It's fine as long as Chuyu likes him. Sikong Luyan nodded after listening to Sikong Tianyu's report. Granduncle, that night sorrow is very outstanding. He might not even be 20 years old yet, but he is already at the peak of the 5th level of the void inquiry stage. The geniuses of the other clans are nothing compared to him. Besides, he is also very humble. Sikong Tianyu told him what he knew about night sorrow. That's good. If you have time, you should go there again and ask them to visit our clan. Don't feel pressured. Lord Golden Phoenix is destined to be a person who can suppress an era. If there is a conflict between the Eastern Xian region and the Qing-Tian region, perhaps we can stay out of it because of Chuyu. Sikong Luyan said to Sikong Tianding and Sikong Tianyu. Granduncle, it's not suitable for us to have too much contact with the Eastern Xian region for the time being. After all, we are a force of the Qing-Tian region. We can't allow others to criticize us. This will be detrimental to the development of our clan. Sikong Tianding said. You're right. Tianding, you have a strong view of the overall situation. This is also the reason why I put you in charge of the clan without worry. The current situation is rather chaotic. What we need to do is to protect ourselves. In such a chaotic world, a single mistake will cause a great disaster. Sikong Luyun looked at Sikong Tianding and nodded. Tianding will be careful. I won't let anything happen to the clan. Sikong Tianding bowed. In the past, our Sikong clan wasn't afraid of anyone. Whoever dared to challenge us, we dared to fight back. However, now that a sage has appeared, any force without a sage will be annihilated if they are not careful. Sikong Luyun sighed. Granduncle, don't you have a chance? Sikong Tianyu asked. Chance? This isn't a matter of chance. It's fate. People who don't have fate will never be able to reach that level. Origin stones and saint crystals are too rare. Those who don't have great luck can't get them. Sikong Luyun shook his head. Look at HS version of chapter MS on, then how did Jin Huang and Ji Yu Haitian get in? It is said that Lord Golden Phoenix has just entered the Saint Realm, Sikong Tianyu said. Venerable Futian is a very old venerable, but he is only a little stronger than ordinary venerables. However, Lord Golden Phoenix is different. She is invincible in the venerable realm. Once she enters the Saint Realm, her combat strength will also increase. They are all people who are favored by the heavenly Tao. Others can't compare to them. Alright, you should worry more about the family's affairs, Tianding. Also, explain to Yunwu Mountain what our Sikong family did some time ago. Wouldn't that hurt old Mountain Master Yang's feelings? Sikong Luyun said. Tianding will take care of it. Sikong Tianding nodded. Then go. Sikong Luyun waved his hand at the two of them. Third brother, what do we do next? Sikong Tianyu asked Sikong Tianding after leaving Sikong Liuyun's seclusion room. Nothing much. Later, you and your sister-in-law Yang Yu will make a trip to Mount Yunwu. After that, our clan will develop in a low-key manner and deal with the upcoming storm, Sikong Tianding said. What about Chuyu? Sikong Tianyu asked. We don't need to deal with her. Chuyu is a member of Tinji Tower. Her safety is naturally not a problem. If we don't need to worry about her safety, what else do we need to deal with? Let nature take its course. As for that young man, if you are satisfied, then there is no problem. The most important thing is that Chuyu thinks highly of him. As her father, I know how high Chuyu's standards are. Love go little say Wang, Chusikong Tianding said. That's true. A father knows his daughter best. Alright, I will go and see sister-in-law now. Sikong Tianyu nodded. After Sikong Tianding returned to his study, he wrote a letter and asked someone to send it out. Although he didn't have to deal with Sikong Chuyu's matter, he still missed his daughter. Therefore, he wrote a letter of inquiry and also explained his family's attitude. When he thought of his daughter being forced to run away from home, Sikong Tianding was filled with anger. If it wasn't for the sake of the clan's interests, he would have already killed Sikong Tianjing and Sikong Tianhua. His daughter was the treasure in his heart that he wanted to protect. He could not accept hurting Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow used one night to condense his true chi halo. His true chi cultivation base had advanced to the 6th level of the void inquiry stage. Then, while stabilizing his cultivation base, Night Sorrow continued to cultivate the myriad Tao scripture and the power of his soul. As for his innate bloodline power, Night Sorrow also improved it very quickly. However, there was still some time before he could activate the 5th innate bloodline power because it was too difficult to activate the 5th innate bloodline power. After stabilizing his cultivation base for a few days, Night Sorrow walked out of the secret cultivation room. At this moment, Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, and Ling Long were drinking tea and chatting. Not bad. 6th level of the void inquiry stage. Your cultivation speed is unimaginable to others. Take our Medicine Valley for example. Those elders who were at the 5th level of the void inquiry stage in the past needed a long time to increase their cultivation base by 1 level. Yang Lei said with a sigh. It's not bad. It's probably because I have more resources. Night Sorrow sat down and poured himself a cup of tea. There are many people who have more resources, but I have never seen anyone who can cultivate so quickly. Ling Long said. It's still not as fast as senior sister Ling Long, Night Sorrow said after taking a sip of tea. You have only cultivated for a few years. The time I have spent cultivating is several times longer than yours. Junior brother Night, how old are you exactly today? Ling Long asked. She was more curious about this. Ninth senior sister, I have been in the sect for 4 years, right? I'm already 20 years old. Night Sorrow thought for a while and said. Yes. According to the time, you will have been in the sect for 4 years in another 2 months. Time really flies. The 13th junior brother, who was still very inexperienced at that time, is already in his 20s now. Moreover, your name has spread far and wide. Yang Lei said. She felt a little emotional because too many things had happened in the past 4 years. The fate of the Medicine Valley had changed. Her own fate had changed. All of this was inseparable from Night Sorrow. 20 years old. Junior brother Night, you are good enough. After confirming Night Sorrow's age, Ling Long's heart also trembled for a moment because the achievements she made when she was 20 years old were far inferior to Night Sorrow's. After that, Night Sorrow communicated with the members of the Tianji Tower team and gave all the dark crystals to Qin Zhen. Brother 13, these are too precious. Seeing Night Sorrow take out a small pile of dark crystals, Qin Zhen did not know what to say. We are brothers. There is no need to say anything else. Just take them. Night Sorrow patted Qin Zhen's shoulder and said. Looking at Night Sorrow, Qin Zhen nodded and put away the dark crystals. After communicating with his brothers for a while, Night Sorrow waved the training field and began to cultivate his spear techniques. This guy is really crazy. I can't stand it. Ling Long muttered and also went to cultivate. Chapter 520. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Small? It provides you with wonderful novels to read. Who sent it? Sikong Chuyu asked. It was sent by someone from Tianji Tower. I don't know the details. Ning Qingfeng said. Then it's nothing. I'll have to trouble Big Brother Ning. Sikong Chuyu said. Although Ning Qingfeng considered himself a servant, in Qingxin Villa, no one treated him as a servant. They all treated him as an elder brother. After opening the letter, Sikong Chuyu was stunned because she recognized that it was her father's handwritten letter. After looking at the signature and confirming that it was her father's letter, Sikong Chuyu began to read it carefully. After reading it, Sikong Chuyu smiled. Ninth senior sister, the matter between me and Night Sorrow is resolved. This is my father's letter. He said that no one in the family objected, including the old ancestor. That's great. Night Sorrow heard the conversation between the two and immediately stopped cultivating. Well, the problem has been solved. Sikong Chuyu said excitedly. Chuyu, I'm sorry. This matter was due to Aunt Fei's face. I couldn't do it myself. Night Sorrow said. XC, original chapter C section BZ equals T on /NI, that's not right. Strength is also divided into hard strength and soft strength. Hard strength is how much battle power you have, and soft strength is how much influence you can have. How many people with high battle power can you influence? Yang Lei said. The matter is resolved. Let's find a time to go to the Sikong family to propose marriage. Night Sorrow said. If there are no obstacles, then we can go at any time. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. She was very happy to know that her family did not object. Night Sorrow stopped cultivating his spear art and sat down to drink tea and chat with the two women. The Sikong family opposed him and Sikong Chuyu being together, which made him feel a lot of pressure. Now that it was resolved, he felt a lot more relaxed. While Night Sorrow was drinking tea with the two women, the masked Taishu Yan appeared, followed by Exquisite. Night Sorrow, is Lord Wu Kei here? Taishu Yan looked at Night Sorrow and asked. She should be here. Night Sorrow knew that Taishu Yan must have come for something, so he got up and walked towards the viewing tower where Wu Lingfei was. Night Sorrow had just taken a few steps when the veiled Wu Lingfei appeared. Junior Marshal Sister Taishu, you're here. Is something the matter? Yes, I've come to ask for Senior Apprentice Sister's help. Your Junior Apprentice Sister, have lost, Taishu Yan said. What happened? Are you injured? Wu Lingfei asked as she looked at Taishu Yan's arm. My arm was hit, and I need to rest, Taishu Yan said with a bitter smile. It's very difficult for cultivators below the saint stage to hurt you, right? Wu Lingfei frowned and asked. He's not a saint, but a venerable. But he's very strong, and I'm not his match. He didn't kill me, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to escape unscathed, Taishu Yan said. He didn't kill you, which means he left some leeway. What caused the conflict? Wu Lingfei asked. Senior Apprentice Sister Wu should know that the realms sea at the border of the North Sea region and the unbounded desolation is special. There are no rules to attack. We call it the Inner Sea. He seized the Sea Heart Island where I used to cultivate, Taishu Yan explained the cause and effect. His style is very overbearing, but there's still a depth to it. Let's heal first. Later, Senior Apprentice Sister will go and take a look. Wu Lingfei pulled Taishu Yan to the viewing tower to heal her. The situation is very serious. Night Sorrow said. He knew that Tianji Tower's Lord Lin Yuandao and Vice Lord Taishu Yan were both peak venerables. Being able to defeat Taishu Yan meant that they were very strong. It's very serious. He injured Tianji Tower's Vice Lord. This is a big problem. Sikong Chiyu nodded and said. Let's wait and see what Aunt Fei has to say. It seems that we'll have a chance to go to the North Sea domain, Night Sorrow said. On the third day, Wu Lingfei and Taishu Yan came out of the viewing tower. Lord Wu, this guy is too arrogant. We Tianji Tower must kill him, Ling Long said. That's not the right way of thinking. Our Celestial Terminus Tower's deputy chief has suffered a loss, but we have to be reasonable. Junior Marshal Sister Taishu, all the treasured lands in the world are ownerless. The Sea Heart Island in the Northern Sea Domain's Inner Sea does not necessarily belong to Junior Marshal Sister. Whoever has the ability to fight for it is not wrong. I understand. I just can't accept it, Taishu Yan said. Don't be upset. Your senior sister is just trying to reason with you. Feng Shui treasures belong to those who are virtuous. Strength is a display of virtue. If he has the strength to take it, then we can take it back, Wu Lingfei said. I thought Senior Apprentice Sister didn't care about me. That Sea Heart Island is very important to you. We can't lose it, Taishu Yan said. But since he showed mercy, we have to remember. Senior Apprentice Sister won't kill for no reason, Wu Lingfei said to Taishu Yan. Junior Apprentice Sister understands. Taishu Yan nodded. Okay, let's go, Wu Lingfei said. Aunt Fei, I'll go too. Night Sorrow expressed his intention to go. Okay, let's go together, Wu Lingfei said. Senior Apprentice Sister, it's not appropriate to take him. It's too dangerous, Taishu Yan said. She was worried that the opponent was too strong and could threaten Night Sorrow's safety. It's okay. Night Sorrow has the pagoda of time and space to protect him. As long as I don't lose, the opponent can't hurt Night Sorrow, Wu Lingfei said confidently. Hearing Wu Lingfei's words, Ling Long opened her mouth but didn't say anything. She also wanted to go, but she couldn't guarantee her own safety, so she couldn't say anything. After tidying up, Night Sorrow said goodbye to Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, and then followed Wu Lingfei and Taishu Yan to the teleportation array. Junior Apprentice Sister Taishu, what is the opponent's attribute? Does he have any trump cards? Wu Lingfei asked as they moved forward. Extreme attribute. It's the Black Demon Lightning attribute. His attacks are very domineering. He's going for the Great Desolate Pool. I don't know what he's planning, Tai Shu Yen said. He must have his own plans. I don't know where this expert came from, Wu Lingfei said. Aunt Fei, Martial Aunt Tai Shu, what is the Great Desolate Pool? Night Sorrow asked. It's a miraculous place that makes people helpless. You can say it's a treasure. The realm sea between the Northern Sea domain and the realm of unbounded desolation is special. It's the border between the realm sea and the desolate sea. The desolate sea is a forbidden zone for all life. Unless you can withstand the power of the desolate sea, you'll meet a miserable end, Wu Lingfei said. What kind of miserable end? Night Sorrow asked curiously. Have you heard of the phrase, until the end of time? The desolate sea contains the power of time. The limit of the power of desolation is 1,000 years in an instant. How long do cultivators live? What do you think will happen if they're sucked in by the power of time? Their hair will turn white, their life force will fade, and they'll become a pile of bones, Wu Lingfei said. Chapter 521. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Among the 4 advanced attributes, the life attribute and the death attribute are the ones that are more helpful to one's body, because these 2 attributes are the elaboration of life. However, in terms of combat power, they are not as good as the space force and the time force. The 4 attributes each have their own strengths, and the time force is the closest to the supreme attribute. Love go little say, Chu Wu Lingfei explained to Night Sorrow. Wu Lingfei was very patient with Night Sorrow. Everyone knows that the Great Desolate Pool is very precious, but no one can use it. If one can withstand the invasion of the power of desolates, then one can absorb the power of desolates to strengthen one's body. However, this is almost impossible, Tai Shu Yen said. If there is a chance, I want to try, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow, don't joke around. You are our Tianji Tower's Heaven's Fate envoy. There are some risks that you can't take. Tai Shu Yen turned to look at Night Sorrow and said. Wu Lingfei also looked at Night Sorrow, but didn't say anything. This was mainly because she had her own considerations. When Night Sorrow's cultivation was very low, he had refined her mysterious jade spirit chi. At that time, he didn't have any attribute power. Now that Night Sorrow had the Void Fate Pearl and the Spacetime Treasure Pagoda, he could give it a try. Once he refined the power of desolates, it would greatly increase the strength of his body. This was Wu Lingfei's idea, but she didn't say it. It wasn't that she didn't trust Tai Shu Yen, but she felt that the less people who knew about Night Sorrow's secret, the safer it would be. Eastern Xian region and North Sea region were allies, and Tianji Tower was coordinating between them. They set up a transmission array in some empty areas, so the 3 of them were directly transmitted to the North Sea region's coastal city, North Star City. Senior Sister Wu, should we go now or take a rest? Tai Shu Yen asked after leaving the transmission array in North Star City. It's nothing. We'll go and take a look first. Once we solve the matter, you'll feel more at ease, Wu Lingfei said. Then, the 3 of them flew towards their destination, Sea Heart Island. The Northern Sea domain's realm sea was connected to the Desolate Sea. Because of the conflict between the power of laws, the realm sea of the Northern Sea domain would cancel each other out. Senior Sister Wu, be careful. That guy is very strong. If you can snatch it back, then snatch it back. If you can't snatch it back, then it doesn't matter. Tai Shu Yen said somewhat worriedly. You have too little confidence in me. I dared to face any challenge before I entered the Saint Realm. Now that I've entered the Saint Realm, do you think I'm afraid? Wu Lingfei said. 2 hours later, the 3 of them arrived at the Sea Heart Island at the border between the North Sea region's boundary sea and the Desolate Sea. Just as the 3 of them landed on Sea Heart Island, a middle-aged man appeared in front of them. The man wore a black robe with a golden dragon inlaid on it. His figure was straight, and he had a very unique mustache. His eyes emitted a cold light. Golden Phoenix? The black-clothed man saw Wu Lingfei and immediately shouted in surprise. I was wondering who it was. What are you thinking? Don't you know that she's a member of my Tianji Tower? Wu Lingfei looked at the black-clothed man and asked directly. How would this king know? She didn't say anything. The black-clothed man glanced at Tai Shu Yan and said. Junior sister Tai Shu, you didn't tell him your identity? Wu Lingfei looked at Tai Shu Yan and asked. He came and said that the territory must be given to him. Then, a fight broke out. Tai Shu Yan said. Your Yun dynasty has such a big territory. Why are you extending your claws to the Northern Sea domain? Wu Lingfei looked at the black-clothed man and said. Golden Phoenix, you don't know that the Tai Qing domain is now in a mess. Our family doesn't want to participate. This king promised to find a good territory for my little grandson as a gift. So, he came here. He saw that this place was good and wanted to take it. Who knew that he was an acquaintance of yours? The black-clothed man said. Well, don't count on this place. How about a fight? Wu Lingfei said. Don't count on it, don't count on it. Wouldn't it be a joke to fight an old friend? Don't tell me that this king can't get a piece of territory. The black-clothed man said. That's enough. Junior sister Tai Shu, this matter is over. It can be said that no discord leads to friendship. Wu Lingfei said to Tai Shu Yan. This King Yun Tianlong offended you. Please forgive him. Golden Phoenix, I haven't seen you for many years. You finally took this step. Congratulations. In addition, this king found that nothing good came from seeing you. Some good things were ruined by you. Let's go. The black-clothed man Yun Tianlong's body flashed and left the Sea Heart Island. Senior sister, who is this person? There is such an expert in the 9 domains and 18 states? Tai Shu Yan said with some surprise. Yun Tianlong, the monarch of the Yun dynasty in the Taiqing domain, is also an invincible venerable. Back then, he was only slightly suppressed by Yi Tian, the Moon Emperor of the Night Moon dynasty. Wu Lingfei revealed the man's identity. Yun dynasty? That's an old power that has been passed down for countless years. This guy is really strong. Tai Shu Yan had not been defeated for many years. Now that she was defeated, she was still very shocked. Currently, the Tai Qing domain is in chaos. No one has attacked the Yun dynasty. Why? Because if you don't defeat someone like Yun Tianlong, you will never be able to defeat the Yun dynasty. Wu Lingfei said. Indeed, the major powers of the Tai Qing domain attacked the Night Moon dynasty because the Moon Emperor Yi Tian's whereabouts are unknown. They are also afraid of Yi Linghuan's rise. Tai Shu Yan said. Night Sorrow, the Yin dynasty and the Night Moon dynasty are on good terms. Therefore, after the Night Moon dynasty was defeated, the other powers are hostile to the Yun dynasty. Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and said. Night Sorrow took a deep breath. The Night Moon dynasty did not fall. It just experienced a wave. Wu Lingfei did not say anything. She just patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. She knew Night Sorrow's ambition. Let's go. Let's go to my courtyard to rest. Senior sister Wu, you didn't need to fight. You solved the problem directly. Comparisons are odious. Tai Shu Yan said. You didn't lose to him unjustly. He used to be one of the 3 giants of the Tai Qing domain. You must know that the Tai Qing domain used to be able to look down on the other domains. When the Tai Qing domain was at its peak, even the Qing Tian domain could not compare to it. Senior sister, after listening to your conversation with Night Sorrow, could it be that Night Sorrow is from the Night Moon dynasty? Tai Shu Yan looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Yes, let's not talk about this. Junior sister, the environment of this Sea Heart Island is not bad. Wu Lingfei said. The main thing is that the laws here are chaotic. You can more or less comprehend some things. Tai Shu Yan said. Night Sorrow's mind was filled with the matters of the Tai Qing domain. He did not expect to see the ruler of the Tai Qing domain's dynasty here. Night Sorrow, don't worry. You are still young. 10 years, 20 years, or even 100 years is nothing to you. 100 years is just a small ripple in history. Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. She knew that Night Sorrow's emotions were fluctuating. Genuine plus S first 4 shots, I understand. I've made Aunt Fei worried. Night Sorrow nodded. Chapter 522. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/Small? It provides you with wonderful novels to read. The three of them came to the center of the Sea Heart Island. In front of them was a lake, and in the middle of the lake was a small island. The center of the small island is where the Great Desolate Pond is located. The energy there is very strong, but the energy is too terrifying. It is fatal to any life form. There is also a special attribute power inside. I looked it up in the ancient books. It is called the power of desolation, also known as the power of time. It belongs to the extreme of the time attribute. Then the Great Desolate Pond does not mean much to junior sister. Wu Lingfei said. Yes, its existence only makes the nearby energy more concentrated. It has no other use. Tai Shu Yen said. Then I will try. Wu Lingfei propped up a protective shield and flew towards the Great Desolate Pond. Night Sorrow and Tai Shu Yen watched from the side to see what Wu Lingfei's situation was like. As Wu Lingfei arrived above the Great Desolate Pond, the protective shield on her body started to operate crazily. The energy loss is too fast. This is the power of time. If you cannot resist the power of time, you will not be able to absorb the power of desolation for cultivation. Tai Shu Yen said. After a moment, Wu Lingfei returned to the side of the two. It is indeed very terrifying. The change in the flow of time caused the energy of my protective shield to be consumed rapidly. In just a moment, 30% of its energy was consumed. The time attribute is a high-level attribute. It is second only to the sovereign attribute. Its power has already surpassed the other 3 high-level attributes. Tai Shu Yen said. Let's go and drink a pot of tea. I also need to recover. Wu Lingfei said. Then Tai Shu Yen arranged for Night Sorrow and Wu Lingfei to stay in the other courtyard on the island. Wu Lingfei went to recover. She had consumed a lot of energy just now. In addition, Tai Shu Yen also needed to recover from her injuries. No one cared about Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, who was bored, once again went to the periphery of the Great Desolate Pond. After standing for a while, Night Sorrow decided to try and see if his void attribute could withstand the impact of the power of time. Even if the life attribute could not withstand it, it did not mean that the void attribute could not. Night Sorrow's body flashed as he activated his protective shield and rushed towards the Great Desolate Pond. When he arrived above the Great Desolate Pool, Night Sorrow felt that his protective energy shield was being attacked by a strange power. However, the nothingness attribute protective energy shield bounced this strange power away and did not cause any damage. Sensing that there was no danger, Night Sorrow landed beside the Great Desolate Pool and observed it. The Great Desolate Pond had a radius of about 5 feet. In the middle of the pond was a rolling yellow liquid with spots. Surrounding the liquid was a yellow energy halo. Night Sorrow opened up a crack in his chi shield. He drew a yellow halo of energy into his chi shield and quickly sealed it. After this energy entered the protective barrier, it directly entered Night Sorrow's body. After entering Night Sorrow's body, this energy began to corrode Night Sorrow's flesh. Night Sorrow could feel his flesh and tendons aging. This happened in an instant. Night Sorrow hurriedly urged the myriad Tao treasured books energy to refine this power of desolates. After being enveloped by Night Sorrow's energy, this power of desolates began to churn. It began to wash away Night Sorrow's myriad Tao treasured books energy. However, there was no effect. This made Night Sorrow feel more at ease. He knew that his true chi was of the void attribute. The myriad Tao treasured book did not have any attribute. However, after being nourished by the void attribute for a long time, its resistance was very strong. Following which, Night Sorrow began to refine this power of desolates. After an hour, Night Sorrow's refinement did not make any progress. Night Sorrow scolded himself in his heart. He scolded himself for being stupid. How could he forget how to refine the mysterious jade chi? If he could not refine it, could it be that he could not assimilate it? Wasn't assimilation a way to refine it? Night Sorrow changed his approach. He poured the myriad Tao treasured book's energy into this power of desolates, and began the process of assimilation. Baidu search AI intersection go intersection shao intersection shua www.ai2x. Com slowly, this power of desolates was assimilated by Night Sorrow. It became an energy that Night Sorrow could control. Night Sorrow controlled this energy to circulate in his body. While Night Sorrow was studying this power of desolates, Wu Lingfei had recovered. Tai Shu Yen also came out of the room. The two of them came to the tea table in the middle of the courtyard. Senior apprentice sister, you've recovered. Your life attribute is really powerful. You've used up a third of your energy, yet you've recovered so quickly. Where's Yishan? While brewing tea, Tai Shu Yen looked towards Yishan's room. At this time, Wu Lingfei's body flashed and came to the periphery of the lake in the heart of the island. Standing outside the lake, she could clearly see Night Sorrow's figure sitting cross-legged. This bastard. He is too daring. After Tai Shu Yen finished speaking, she got up and rushed towards the island. She was very worried that Night Sorrow would consume his life attribute. That would be irreversible. Wu Lingfei's body flashed and stopped her, bringing her back to the edge of the lake. He is very stable now. Let's take a look first. Night Sorrow felt that there was no problem with this power of desolates. He opened a crack in his protective chi cover and once again pulled the power of desolates into his protective chi cover. Then, he began to assimilate it. Senior Sister Wu, what is his situation? Why is he not afraid of the power of desolates? Tai Shu Yen said with some astonishment. Let's go back and talk. Wu Lingfei brought Tai Shu Yen back to the courtyard. Only +1 positive, version, all, he be, are stolen, c, version s%, Senior Sister Wu, how can he resist the power of desolates? Tai Shu Yen asked anxiously. He has many attributes on his body. Ice attribute, space attribute, and mainly the sovereign attribute. Although the power of desolates is overbearing, it is still incomparable to the sovereign attribute. Let's wait and see. If he can refine it, then this guy will have a great harvest. Wu Lingfei said. After Night Sorrow refined the 3 strands of power of desolates, he stood up and flew across the lake, returning to the courtyard. How was it? Did you gain anything? Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Night Sorrow turned his head to look at Tai Shu Yen. He could tell Wu Lingfei anything, but Tai Shu Yen couldn't. Night Sorrow, Aunt Fei, and your martial uncle have known each other for a long time. Although we don't talk much, we are not outsiders. It's nothing. Wu Lingfei said. Night Sorrow nodded. Then, with a flick of his right index finger, a yellow power of desolates appeared and wrapped around Night Sorrow's finger. The power of desolates? You have mastered the power of desolates? Even Wu Lingfei, who knew Night Sorrow very well, was very surprised. There were too many people who had designs on the power of desolates. Among them, there was no lack of talented cultivators with unfathomable cultivation. However, no one could get what they wanted. Instead, there were many people who had been cheated by the power of desolates. Not to mention others, Tai Shu Yen had tried it, and Wu Lingfei had also tried it today. They were all helpless against the power of desolates. But now, the power of desolates was wrapped around Night Sorrow's finger. I can't say that I have mastered it. I have just refined a few strands. Night Sorrow said. Hurry up and try it. Let's see how powerful this power of desolates is. Tai Shu Yen said excitedly. Chapter 523. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. As Wu Lingfei's arms swept across, the originally emerald green branches turned yellow in an instant. Love go little say W, Chu, it really is the power of desolates. Night sorrow, is there any problem in your body? Are there any changes to your attributes? If there are any changes, then the losses outweigh the gains. Wu Lingfei asked with some concern. The power of desolates contained the power of time. It was very overbearing, but it was still incomparable to the nihility attribute. Night sorrow did not show the overbearing nature of the nihility attribute, but that was because he did not notice it. Not to mention other things, being able to suppress other attributes was an incredible means. There is no problem. I did not use true qi. I used the energy in my body to refine it. The attribute of true qi has not changed. Night sorrow flicked his finger and the power of desolates returned to his body. That's good. Anyway, we have nothing to do. Let's stay here for a while and see if you can refine it. Wu Lingfei said. Night sorrow, Martial Uncle has an ancient book here. It is the handwritten letter of the ancient body refiner, Huang Wudao. He is also the only known cultivator who can refine the power of desolates for his own use. Tai Shu Yen took out an ancient book and handed it to Night Sorrow. Huang Wudao. The matter of the black tortoise crystal was also passed down from Huang Wudao's handwritten letter. He was the most accomplished body refiner, and had cultivated the heavenly desolate sword body, which was famous throughout the 9 regions. Love go little say W, Chu, Wu Lingfei said. Thank you, Uncle Master. Yi Shang took the ancient book and flipped it open to take a look. After reading it, Night Sorrow shook his head. He was not interested in the cultivation method of the heavenly desolate sword body. This method was very crude. It was just absorbing energy to strengthen the body. It was no different from true qi. Night Sorrow returned the ancient book to Tai Shu Yen. Thank you, Martial Uncle. This ancient book is not suitable for me. I not only cultivate the strength of the body, but also the energy in the body. It does not conflict with true qi. He is using qi to refine the body. It's not suitable. Then what are you going to do? Tai Shu Yen looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Don't worry. I have my own way. I have the energy in my body. I can use the energy in my body to refine the power of desolates. It's not that troublesome, Night Sorrow said. For the next 2 days, Night Sorrow began refining the power of desolates in the Great Desolate Pool. Life did not go according to one's wishes. Night Sorrow spent 2 days refining the power of desolates. After refining more than 10 wisps of power of desolates, the Great Desolate Pool sank into the ground and disappeared. I only have a strong wisp of power of desolates in my body and the Great Desolates Pool has disappeared. What kind of situation is this? Night Sorrow said gloomily. The power of desolates is very common in the desolate sea of the unbounded desolation realm, but it is all modeled. Only the power of desolates in the Great Desolation Pool is pure. It will be difficult to find power of desolates like the Great Desolation Pool in the future. Tai Shu Yen also felt very regretful. Let's wait for our chance. Wu Lingfei said. She was also very helpless in this matter. However, no one could do anything about the disappearance of the Great Desolate Pool. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood that some things could not be forced. He currently did not have such a chance. However, he had already gained a lot from this trip to the North Sea. After all, he now had a wisp of pure power of desolates in his body. Actually, this is a seed. As long as the seed exists, there will be a day when it will sprout. Wu Lingfei nodded to Night Sorrow. Afterwards, the 3 of them once again searched the Sea Heart Island. However, they did not find any trace of the Great Desolate Pool. Junior Martial Sister Tai Shu, if there is nothing else, we will return. After searching for a while without any results, Wu Lingfei planned to leave. All right. When I have time, I will go to the Eastern Profound Domain to see Senior Martial Sister. Tai Shu Yen knew that Wu Lingfei had many things to do and did not force her to stay. Martial Aunt, take care. Night Sorrow bowed to Tai Shu Yen. After leaving the Sea Heart Island, Wu Lingfei took Night Sorrow and flew towards the unbounded desolation. The power of desolates can only be found in the desolate sea of the unbounded desolation. Let's go to the desolate sea and see if it can help you, Wu Lingfei said. Many thanks, Aunt Fei. Night Sorrow was very moved. Wu Lingfei was doing this for him. It took the two of them 5 days to reach the desolate sea. When they reached the periphery of the desolate sea, Wu Lingfei was unable to approach it. The power of the desolate sea had a great effect on her. Night Sorrow could withstand it. After flying for a while, Night Sorrow activated the Myriad Dao treasure tome, which contained the power of desolates, to protect himself. Then, he removed the void quintessential energy's protective barrier. The energy of the desolate sea began to invade Night Sorrow's body. However, with the Myriad Dao's tome's energy protecting him, Night Sorrow had no problems. Night Sorrow tried to absorb the power of desolates. However, he found that it was impossible. The power of desolates was too mottled and mixed with too many other energies. It was impossible to absorb. After flying around for a while, Night Sorrow returned to Wu Lingfei's side. I can't. There is power of desolates here, but it's too mottled and mixed with too many other energies. I can't absorb it, Night Sorrow said. Although the power of desolates is very thin, it's very powerful. Look at your clothes. It's weathered. This is a characteristic of the power of desolates' time power, Wu Lingfei said, pointing at Night Sorrow's clothes. At this moment, Night Sorrow's white robes had turned light yellow, as if they were old clothes from many years ago. Night Sorrow reached out to grab them, and they flew away. They were already rotten. If I can't absorb it, then I can't absorb it. This is already a good harvest, Night Sorrow said. Not bad. Your body is no longer affected by the power of time. In other words, time has little effect on your life. This is already very powerful, Wu Lingfei said with a smile. Afterward, Wu Lingfei flew back to North Star City with Night Sorrow and took a teleportation array to Eastern Profound Domain's Eastern Profound City. Unspecified currency, Zenk version 7, R /, by the way, Ani Fei will help you find the desolate stone. If there is one, it can help you continue to improve your power of desolates, Wu Lingfei said as she walked out of the teleportation array with Night Sorrow. It's not that easy. Last time, I told Protector Yin Shui that I wanted to exchange for a space crystal, but there was no news, Night Sorrow said. Impossible. It's possible that there isn't a desolate stone, but it's impossible that there isn't a space crystal. She probably forgot about it, Wu Lingfei said. Maybe. Night Sorrow nodded. After the two arrived at Tranquil Heart Courtyard, Wu Lingfei returned to the viewing tower. While Night Sorrow was chatting with Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, Exquisite also ran over. She was more interested in Night Sorrow's trip. Yishang didn't like to talk about random things, but Exquisite liked to ask questions. Somewhat helpless, Night Sorrow casually said a few words and then went to the secret cultivation room to cultivate. What's wrong? Exquisite looked at Night Sorrow's back and frowned. She felt that Night Sorrow was a little impatient. He must have wanted to drink tea in peace. Everyone kept asking him and he couldn't calm down, so he went to cultivate, Yang Lei said straightforwardly. She knew Night Sorrow very well. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I will be more careful in the future, Exquisite said apologetically. Everyone should understand each other. This way, we can get along better, Sikong Chuyu said. Chapter 524. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little. We provide you with interesting novels to read. Actually, since you're the one who explained all this, it means that you're a reasonable person. We can get to know each other better, Yang Lei said. Because of Ling Long's words, her impression of her had changed. I'm from the Dark Mountain tribe. Maybe it's because I'm used to it. Ling Long smiled at the two girls and left the backyard. You're straightforward. Not bad, Sikong Chuyu said. Night Sorrow cultivated until night time before he came out to have dinner with everyone. Night Sorrow, you left like that at noon. It was a little embarrassing, Yang Lei said. I can't report everything, right? Night Sorrow put down the bowl of soup and wiped his mouth. Sikong Chuyu smiled and told him about Ling Long's situation. The Dark Mountain tribe is a special tribe. They have some special habits and are straightforward. You can't be like that anymore, Yang Lei said to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow nodded and took the tea from Sikong Chuyu. This is quite a coincidence. Aunt Fei went and solved the problem without doing anything. One of the 3 leaders of the Tai Ching region is very powerful, Sikong Chuyu said. Of course the invincible venerables are powerful. Otherwise, Deputy Palace Master Tai Shu wouldn't have been defeated. Love go little say, Chiang Lei said. Now that the problem is solved, we can cultivate in peace, Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. I hope it can be quiet. It's really tiring to go back and forth all this time. Night Sorrow let out a sigh. Indeed. In the past few years since you entered the sect, first, there was the Medicine Valley incident, then there was the invasion of the dark creatures. You didn't let anyone rest. Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow with some heartache. In fact, Night Sorrow didn't rest at all. Night Sorrow practiced his spear art for a while before the 3 of them went to rest. Of course, it wasn't a simple rest. The 3 of them needed to communicate, and Night Sorrow wasn't a saint. The harmony cultivation method wasn't of much help to Night Sorrow, but because Night Sorrow's body was filled with blood qi and yang qi, it was of great help to the 2 women. The days that followed were really quiet. At night, Night Sorrow cultivated his foundation. During the day, he cultivated his spear art and the realm of one with the spear. Sometimes, he would accompany Sky Feather and Silver Fox. Other times, he would watch the other brothers cultivate. After a day of cultivation, Night Sorrow pondered for a moment before going to Tianji Tower. He wanted to ask about the space crystal and if there were any desolate stones. Night Sorrow needed both of these things. Night Sorrow didn't need the space crystal now, but he would need it in the future. Currently, Night Sorrow's bloodline talent was at the foundation stage. Once his foundation was stable, he would need the space crystal to upgrade it. As for the desolate stones, Night Sorrow needed them more. If the power of desolates in his body was sufficient, his combat power would be greatly improved. Night Sorrow went to Tianji Tower and saw Yin Shui. When Night Sorrow mentioned this matter, Yin Shui's face turned red and she quickly apologized. She had been busy with the death space and had forgotten about this matter. It's okay. I really need the space crystal. I also need the water crystal and the thunder crystal. I won't take advantage of you. Use resources of the same value to exchange, Night Sorrow said. The headquarters will have the space crystal. If you need one, the headquarters will send someone to deliver it. But if you ask for so many, everyone will understand that you don't need them for yourself, Yin Shui said. I can use top-grade spirit stones, life crystals, life liquid, soul crystals, and other high-level resources to exchange for them. Is that okay? Night Sorrow directly stated the price he was willing to pay. Baidu search AI Go female sign Xiao say www.aichuxs.com top-grade spirit stones, life crystals, life liquid, and soul crystals. These 4 are resources that all cultivators need. Of course, there's no problem. I'll report this to the headquarters and see how they arrange it, Yin Shui said as she made a record. Okay. I'll have to trouble Chief Protector Yin Shui with these matters. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Yin Shui. Yin Shui was a subordinate in front of Night Sorrow, but Night Sorrow still treated Yin Shui as a senior. Night Sorrow left Tianji Tower and strolled around the streets before returning to his mansion. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation Previous Chapter 4 Back in the backyard, Night Sorrow saw Wu Lingfei, who had just come out of seclusion. She was drinking tea and chatting with Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, and Ling Long. Where did you run off to? It's quite relaxing. Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I went to Tianji Tower and talked to Protector Yin Shui about the resources, but I don't know what the result is, Night Sorrow said as he sat down. What resources did you ask for? Sikong Chuyu asked. I didn't ask for them. It's an exchange. I won't take advantage of you. I asked if there were any space crystals, water crystals, or thunder crystals, Night Sorrow said. You're really greedy. You want to exchange for everything, but you have a lot of resources, so you can really afford it, Wu Lingfei said with a smile. By the way, Aunt Fei, I want to know another thing. At that time, Supervisor Lan said that Tianji Tower wanted to borrow the water origin stone without any cost. Does Tianji Tower have a top-level water venerable? Night Sorrow asked. Of course, Master K is one, Wu Lingfei said. Then why hasn't it been mentioned yet? Night Sorrow asked, puzzled. If you want to enter the Saint Realm, you need to understand the power of rules first and then break through in one fell swoop. In addition, Master K may want to touch the ultimate attribute. That way, his combat power will be different after advancing. Master K has a chance to advance to the black mysterious water ultimate attribute, Wu Lingfei said. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood why Tianji Tower hadn't mentioned this for the time being. It was to be used at a critical time. Night Sorrow, how's your cultivation going recently? Are there any difficulties? Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. No, it's just that my soul power is increasing slowly, Night Sorrow said. Of course. If your soul power can be cultivated quickly, venerables will be everywhere. How amazing would that be? Wu Lingfei said with a smile. Then everything else is going well, Night Sorrow said. It's a chaotic world now. Aunt Fei doesn't think it will stop. We don't know when a war will break out. If you improve your strength, you will have more ability to protect yourself, Wu Lingfei said. I will work hard. Night Sorrow nodded. It's the same for all of you. If you have any doubts about your cultivation, you can ask me, Wu Lingfei said to the other girls. The girls nodded. They knew that this was a rare opportunity. A big shot like Wu Lingfei usually cultivated and rarely commanded others to cultivate. Then, everyone began to cultivate nervously, seizing the opportunity to improve their cultivation. Night Sorrow's Shin-Chi cultivation increased slowly, but the myriad Tao treasured tome increased very quickly. When Night Sorrow broke through to level 3 path-seeking realm, someone from Tianji Tower came. It was not just one of them, but Lin Yuandao and Hua Haining. This made Night Sorrow very surprised. At the same time, Wu Lingfei came out to receive them. Chapter 525. Genius 1 second. Remember love go divided by small? I'll provide you with wonderful novels to read. F% BD forever you $free Q fee, C, small square root N. If it's a normal distribution of resources, of course there's no need for the law enforcement elder to come. Isn't this a little big? Lin Yuandao said with a smile. Okay. Then this king and deputy tower master Wu will be the witnesses, Hua Haining said as he sat down. Wu Lingfei also nodded. She knew that Night Sorrow wanted to exchange for top-grade resources, which had to be recorded in Tianji Tower, so Lin Yuandao brought Hua Haining along. There are no outsiders here, except for your fiancé, and Ling Long is also a celestial emissary, so she's not an outsider. Let's get straight to the point. This king will borrow your water origin stone for 3 months. This king will personally give you 2 space crystals, 2 water crystals, and 2 thunder crystals. In addition, Tianji Tower will give you 2 of each. What do you think? Lin Yuandao said. I don't have any objections. Does Lord Tower Master want to use it now? Night Sorrow nodded. Yes, I'll use it soon. Lin Yuandao nodded. At this time, Sikong Chuyu took out the jade box containing the water origin stone and handed it to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow handed it to Lin Yuandao. Lin Yuandao and Hua Haining took out the resources Lin Yuandao mentioned at the same time and placed them on the table. Love goes small, say W. Chu Anti-Fei. Night Sorrow looked at Wu Lingfei. Neither Lord Tower Master nor Tianji Tower will take advantage of you. Take it. Wu Lingfei nodded. Night Sorrow waved his arm and put the resources on the table into his storage ring. You are a celestial emissary of Tianji Tower. Normally, you don't need to exchange the resources you use. These 3 space crystals are a gift from Tianji Tower. Now, let's talk about the exchange of resources between you and Tianji Tower. Lin Yuandao nodded to Hua Haining. Hua Haining placed the 3 space crystals on the table. This time, Hua Haining had brought resources with him. Night Sorrow didn't hesitate and directly put away the 3 space crystals. In the Celestial Terminus Tower, there are all the resources you mentioned, except for the Desolate Stone. However, in order to give future generations a chance, we can't exchange them without limit. We can only take out 5 pieces of each resource, Hua Haining said. Okay, I have top-grade crystals here. How much do you want? Night Sorrow asked. Don't you have soul crystals and life essence elixir? Lin Yuandao asked in surprise. Wu Lingfei smiled and said, who would be willing to use spirit stones and life essence fluid? Junior Sister Wu, you know that our Tianji Tower needs some rare treasures in reserve. That way, when our core members are injured or need to break through, they will be very effective, Lin Yuandao said. Night Sorrow, let's do as Lord K says. Wu Lingfei nodded to Yishang. Yes, it's to give those who come after us some opportunities. In the end, Night Sorrow took out 10 soul crystals and half a bottle of life essence to complete the exchange. I'm from Tianji Tower, so I have to do something for Tianji Tower. This bottle of soul fluid of life and 2 bottles of void pills is my contribution to Tianji Tower. Night Sorrow took out another bottle of soul fluid of life and 2 bottles of void pills and gave them to Hua Haining. What a shame. I don't even have a place to put my face, Hua Haining said with a wry smile. It is indeed embarrassing. We even came here to make a deal with them. What is this? Lin Yuandao was also a little embarrassed. They didn't expect Night Sorrow to be so generous. The resources that Night Sorrow had contributed were already extremely valuable. It's nothing. This is what I should do. Baidu search love go xiao shua www.aichuxs.com, Night Sorrow said. Junior Sister Wu, was it you who taught Night Sorrow this move? Lin Yuandao asked Wu Lingfei. That's not true. Night Sorrow has always been magnanimous. Senior brother Lin, Elder Hua, you guys have to treat Night Sorrow well in the future, said Wu Lingfei. Alright, I will reflect on my actions this time. Hua Haining cupped his fists towards Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow bowed in return. At the same time, he felt more respect for Hua Haining. This was how an elder should behave. Senior brother Lin, there's no need to apologize. If you feel bad, then when Night Sorrow enters the Exalt stage, you can help him upgrade his weapon. We'll provide the materials ourselves. Wu Lingfei looked at Lin Yuandao, who was about to apologize. Leave this matter to me. Lin Yuandao nodded and said. That's more or less done, said Wu Lingfei. By the way, there's one more thing. The realm of unbounded desolation is currently in chaos. Night Sorrow, if you're interested, you can go take a look. Lin Yuandao said to Night Sorrow, Ling Long, and the others. The realm of unbounded desolation is divided between humans and beasts, Night Sorrow said. Won't the beast sovereigns hate us if we go there? How should I put it? Hua Haining said. It's possible. For example, if you kill a spirit beast or a spirit beast's descendant, it'll easily lead to conflict. Don't worry. Night Sorrow, you guys go ahead. Are you afraid of being killed? If you're afraid of being killed, then just lie there quietly. Don't come out and cause a beast tide. Wu Lingfei nodded at Night Sorrow. Alright, Hua Haining said. I'll arrange for someone to go with you later. If you're killed by a beast sovereign, it'll be because you're weak. However, if you're killed by a beast sovereign, it'll be because of the incompetence of our seniors in Tianji Tower. Elder Hua, there's no need for that. I'll go with you. Wu Lingfei took over the task. After all, she didn't want anyone else to protect Night Sorrow. Now that everything is more or less settled, can we drink without worry? Lin Yuandao said with a smile. Afterwards, Yang Lei, Ling Long, and Sikong Chuyu served the dishes. Auntie Feng had already prepared a banquet for them as soon as the two of them entered. After the dishes were served, Wu Lingfei took the wine that Night Sorrow poured for her and asked, "Are you confident, Senior Marshal Brother Lin?" "More or less," Lin Yuandao said. "The main thing is that it'll be more difficult for me to make the breakthrough with my ultimate attribute." Wu Lingfei nodded. She understood Lin Yuandao's thoughts. He wanted a good foundation, just like she did before she insisted on making the breakthrough with her life attribute. After drinking, Lin Yuandao and Hua Haining left. They were here to take a look at Tianji Tower's second base. Night Sorrow also found out where Tianji Tower's second base was. Tianji Tower's second base was located at Tianqiong Mountain in the Medicine Valley region. Night Sorrow didn't know the exact location. "Auntie Fei, why is Tianji Tower only building its second base? Is it difficult to build a base?" Night Sorrow asked Wu Lingfei, who was drinking tea. Wu Lingfei didn't hide anything from them and said, "Not really. They only built small bases in the past. After all, large bases would be feared by the local forces, so they needed an opportunity. In the past, Taiqing Domain was the most prosperous among the 9 domains, and the strongest force in Taiqing Domain was the Night Moon Dynasty. The Yun Dynasty had a close relationship with Tianji Tower, so the first base was built in Taiqing Domain. Since Auntie Fei knows about the first base, then you must know a lot about Taiqing Domain, Night Sorrow said. Chapter 526. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Is it the Tianji Tower's first base that Aunt Fei established? Night Sorrow was shocked. Love go little say W. Chu Wu Lingfei nodded and said, "Yes. That's why Aunt Fei has had contact with both the Night Moon Dynasty and the Yun Clan Dynasty. She even fought Yun Tianlong once." Night Sorrow nodded. The Night Moon Dynasty used to be a colossus in the realm of grand purity, but it no longer existed. At that time, the Night Moon Emperor Yi Tian didn't show up in public anymore. Aunt Fei also communicated with an emperor of the Night Moon Dynasty when we established the first base. Wu Lingfei explained the situation in the Night Moon Dynasty. Night Sorrow sighed and said, "Yeah, I'm just asking." Then, Wu Lingfei explained the situation in the realm of unbounded desolation to Night Sorrow and the girls. The realm of unbounded desolation was the realm with the strongest beast cultivators. Beast cultivators had almost dominated the realm of unbounded desolation. Even now, most of the realm of unbounded desolation was still under their control. Why would the demon beast start a beast tide? Yang Lei asked, puzzled. The beast tide is a disaster for humans, but it has 2 meanings for the demon beasts. The first is that the demon beasts reproduce quickly, and if their numbers are too large, it will be a huge blow to the demon beasts' population. There won't be enough food and resources, so some of them will have to be eliminated. The second meaning is that some of the demon beasts with no potential will be used to attack humans. This way, some of the demon beasts with no value will be eliminated, and some of the human territories will be occupied. Wu Lingfei explained the origin and reason of the beast tide. I see. Let's go fight them then, although it has nothing to do with the Eastern Xian realm. Night Sorrow said. His main purpose was to capture some flying mounts. Guan Yi didn't have one yet, and Night Sorrow had been worried about that. All right. You guys get ready. We'll set off in 2 days. With that, Wu Lingfei rose and returned to the observation tower. Actually, there isn't much to prepare. I'm just going to see if Tianji Tower and blood-robed guards are going to fight. Exquisite, are you going? Knight Sorrow stood up and asked Exquisite. I want to go, but I can't. Elder Huo wants me to go to the base to take a look. We're all celestial fate emissaries, so the treatment is different. Ling Long said gloomily. This shows how much they value you. All right, I'll get back to work. Knight Sorrow got up and walked toward the residential area on the left side of the mansion. This was where the Bloodstrike Guards and Tianji Tower teams rested. After finding Ho Jian and Blood Piercing, Knight Sorrow asked them to assemble the team. The Tianji Tower team and the Blood-Robed Guard team assembled quickly, forming two lines in a matter of moments. Here's the thing. I plan to go to the realm of unbounded desolation in a few days. There's a beast tied there. What do you think? Knight Sorrow asked. Blood Piercing turned around and looked at the Bloodstrike Guards, who all nodded, and said, We want to go, but it's up to you, Captain. Ho Jian turned around and looked at Lei Bao and the others. I don't need to say anything. Who doesn't want to go? Lei Bao waved his hand and said, Of course. See you, Original X Chapter 06. A few days ago, Lei Bao and Lei Zheng had both reached the 5th stage. In other words, among Knight Sorrow's two teams, only Qin Zhen and Ho Qingjie were at the spirit-severing stage. Ho Qingjie's cultivation base had also reached the late spirit-severing stage. After all, Qin Zhen had only cultivated for a short time. It was already very rare for him to reach the peak of the spirit-severing stage. Knight Sorrow waved his arm and said, Then you should prepare yourselves. We'll be fighting across realms in a few days. It's been a while since we fought side by side. I'm looking forward to it. Captain, you'll have to spend a lot of money. We'll need a lot of spirit stones to use the teleportation portal, Nan Liues said with a smile. That's not a problem. I can still afford to take care of my brothers and sisters, Knight Sorrow said with a smile. Of course, Captain isn't an ordinary person. Lei Bao gave Knight Sorrow a thumbs up. In fact, these problems might be troublesome in the eyes of others, but they were nothing to Knight Sorrow. Yi Shang did not have many medium-grade spirit stones, only a few hundred. However, a high-grade spirit stone could be exchanged for 100 medium-grade spirit stones. Yi Shang's high-grade spirit stones were like a small mountain in his storage ring. He could never use them all. Haha. Captain is so domineering. Let's get ready. We can set off at any time, Blood Piercing said. There's one more thing. If you don't have enough resources, just say the word. Don't delay your cultivation because of the lack of resources. I have clear void pills and void pills. As long as you can eat them, I have them, Knight Sorrow emphasized again. Bang! After hearing Knight Sorrow's words, the members of the Bloodstrike Guard and Tianji Tower stood upright. They all held their weapons in their right hands and pounded their chests with their left hands. This was the most respectful etiquette and also the highest form of loyalty. You don't have to do this. As a brother, I will do whatever I can for you. It's not for anything else, but for when I look back a few years later and see that my brothers are still around. If you want to do this, you need strength. As long as you work hard, I will find a way to get resources, Knight Sorrow said. Captain, don't worry. No matter what, we will never give up on our brothers. No matter when, as long as you drink with us, there will be no shortage of people, Blood Piercing said as he stepped forward. All right, I will let you know when it's time to set off, Knight Sorrow said. Knight Sorrow left, but the team didn't disperse. Blood Piercing looked at his brothers behind him and said, I forgot to tell you last time. When we used to cultivate in the mountains, some of us got some materials. Take out the high-grade materials and give them to the captain. After hearing Blood Piercing's words, the members of the Bloodstrike Guard began to hand over their alchemy materials. On Ho Jian's side, a few people also took out their materials. Without Knight Sorrow's care and resources, alchemy materials were equivalent to resources and elixirs. This was very important to a cultivator, as it was their lifeblood. However, to the members of the Blood Strike Guard and Tianji Tower, alchemy materials were useless. They were just gifts or decorations. Gifts. Knight Sorrow was helping everyone to provide resources and elixirs. Was it appropriate to give his materials to others? First of all, he couldn't get past his conscience. Knight Sorrow returned to the martial arts arena and began to cultivate. He cultivated the Covering Sky Hand. A few days ago, Knight Sorrow had upgraded the Covering Sky Hand to the highest level. After upgrading the Covering Sky Hand to the highest level, Knight Sorrow could use 3 palms, 1 palm with true chi and 2 palms with the Myriad Tao Treasured Scripture. After using the Covering Sky Hand with the Myriad Tao Treasured Scripture's energy, Knight Sorrow looked at his hands and suddenly had an idea. If he circulated the power of Desolates to his hands, what would the Covering Sky Hand be like? Knight Sorrow wasn't a sloppy person. He acted as soon as he thought of it. He circulated the power of Desolates in his body to his right hand and slapped a huge rock in front of him. Chapter 527. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? I will provide you with wonderful novels to read. After sending out this palm strike, Knight Sorrow was extremely shocked. This was because the power of Desolates had not been consumed at all. After being sent out, Knight Sorrow's soul power probed and it followed Knight Sorrow's soul power back into Knight Sorrow's body. Love go little say, Chu. After recovering for a while, Knight Sorrow used a small portion of the Myriad Tao Tome's energy and sent out another palm strike with the power of Desolates. After sending out this palm strike, Knight Sorrow realized that the attack power had decreased a little, but the power of Desolate's attack was still there. The range of the palm strike was once again invaded by the power of Desolates, and it was very serious. Haha. Knight Sorrow laughed loudly. Although he could not use the power of Desolates to strengthen himself, the erosion of the power of time was too overbearing. What's wrong with you? Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, who were practicing carving in the main hall, walked out. What are you doing? Ah. What is this? Why is this tree decaying? Seeing the mess Knight Sorrow had made, Sikong Chuyu was very surprised. At this time, Wu Lingfei also came over and looked at the decaying trees and flowers. Can it be used for attack? Yes, although it's only a lock, the effect is very strong. Love go little say, Chu. Knight Sorrow nodded and said. Very good. Don't mess around. If you mess around like this, the mansion will be destroyed by you. Wu Lingfei looked again at the mess Knight Sorrow had made, shook her head, and left. Come back with me. Yang Lei pulled Knight Sorrow's arm and entered the main hall. Drink some water and then confess. Sikong Chuyu said after pouring a cup of tea for Knight Sorrow. It's not that I wanted to hide it from you. It's just that I was a little annoyed by the questions that day, so I went to cultivate and didn't talk about it. Knight Sorrow drank the water and briefly explained the power of Desolates. All right. There's nothing much to say about your ability. Even Auntie Faye can't refine the power of Desolates, but you can. That's too awesome. Sikong Chuyu said with some emotion. #original, initials, send, 13, do you have the power of time, space and nothingness? Yang Lei asked. Yes. Knight Sorrow nodded. Any one of these 3 is enough to shock the world. You actually gathered all 3 into one. Love go little say. Yang Lei patted Knight Sorrow's shoulder, not knowing what to say. Let's not talk about that. Let's get ready. We're going to the realm of unbounded desolation. It'll probably take us a long time to get there. You women will need a lot of things, so make sure you're well prepared. With these words, Knight Sorrow left for his private cultivation room. Over the next 2 days, Knight Sorrow had the blood-robed guard and Tianji Tower's team walk around the streets and make some preparations. On the 3rd day, Wu Lingfei found Knight Sorrow and told him to take everyone to the realm of unbounded desolation. Knight Sorrow gathered the Tianji Tower's team and the blood-robed guard. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu also joined the Tianji Tower's team. Although she was Night Sorrow's fiancé, team discipline was still the most important thing. This was something that both Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu understood. Night Sorrow tightened his grip on the reincarnation spear on his back and asked, "Is there a problem?" "No problem." The Tianji Towers team and the blood-robed guards team shouted in unison. "Then let's go." Wu Lingfei nodded at Night Sorrow. "Love go little Sei Ku." After nodding at Wu Lingfei, Night Sorrow turned around and gave the order, "Release the mounts." "Let's go." Then, everyone's mounts rose into the air. Wu Lingfei's body flickered and landed on Tianyu's back. After reaching the 5th grade, Tianyu's intelligence was almost as good as a human's. Knowing that Wu Lingfei was Night Sorrow's family, he didn't resist. After arriving at the teleportation portal, everyone put away their mounts. Night Sorrow paid the teleportation fee, and the group started teleporting. First, they went to East Smoke City in the Taiyue domain, then East Garden City. After leaving East Garden City, they had to fly to Wui City in the northern part of the Taiyue domain. Only then could they teleport to Northern Blue City, a coastal city close to the realm of unbounded desolation. Although Night Sorrow's mount was fast, it had to accommodate the slowest member. The blood-robed guards' mounts were all at the peak of the 3rd grade. Fortunately, they weren't too slow. During the day, they traveled, and at night, they set up camp and cultivated. None of them were flowers in a greenhouse. They had all experienced wilderness survival and long journeys. Traveling like this wasn't a problem for them. "That brother of yours is pretty good. Although his cultivation base is at the bottom of the group, he'll definitely catch up in the future. His darkness attribute is quite powerful." Wu Lingfei, who had returned to her tent to drink tea, said after checking on everyone's state of cultivation. After pouring himself a cup of tea, Night Sorrow said, "By the way, Aunt Fei, there's one more thing I haven't told you yet." "What is it?" Wu Lingfei asked with a smile. She liked the way Night Sorrow talked to her about everything. Then, Night Sorrow told her about the resurrection of his 12th senior brother, Guanyi, and that the main reason for it was the Dark Spirit Saint. The Dark Spirit Saint is quite capable. He's also quite open-minded. Don't worry. That kind of person wouldn't trick your 12th senior brother. If he wanted to use some sort of method to resurrect himself, you wouldn't be able to find out or stop it. Wu Lingfei explained the results of her analysis. "I believe in this. My master, senior brother, and senior sister also believe in this. Perhaps others will be worried about this. But as time passes, the facts will prove everything." Night Sorrow said. "As long as a cultivator of the death attribute grows up, his future will be very bright. In addition, as his cultivation base increases, he'll be able to activate and refine the memory fragments of the Dark Spirit Saint. He'll be able to comprehend some of the cultivation experiences and battle techniques. It can be said that his future is very good." Wu Lingfei emphasized Guanye's future twice. "If that's the case, then my 12th senior brother still has the possibility of obtaining the insights of the Dark Spirit Saint?" Night Sorrow said with some surprise. "It's easy to communicate with smart people. I just don't know what the soul fragments of the Dark Spirit Saint left behind. If it's related to the comprehension of the power of laws, then you know what it means. At the very least, your 12th senior brother will be able to cultivate to the half-step saint level." Wu Lingfei said. "I understand. It seems that among us brothers and sisters, my 12th senior brother's potential is the greatest," said Yishang. "What are you talking about? You think you can't reach that level?" Wu Lingfei reached out and knocked Night Sorrow's head. "I'm still not in the right place, but I'll work hard." Night Sorrow said. "Actually, this is both a benefit and a disadvantage. If he can comprehend the soul fragments of the Dark Spirit Saint, then there will be a certain resistance to his comprehension of the realm. If he can't break through the shackles, then his achievements will be fixed. Do you understand what I mean?" Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. "I understand, and I believe in myself." Night Sorrow said. Chapter 528. Genius 1 second remember love divided by go divided by little. I will provide you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow understood what Wu Lingfei meant. According to normal estimations, if Guan Ye's growth was smooth, he would be able to obtain the fragments of Dark Spirit Saint's insights. His achievements would be very high, but no matter how high he was, he wouldn't be able to surpass the Saint realm. At most, he would be a half-step saint. After all, it was impossible for Guan Yi to obtain all of Dark Spirit Saint's memory fragments. If he lacked even a little bit, he wouldn't be able to enter the saint realm. This was different from other cultivators. When ordinary cultivators needed to comprehend the power of laws, they just needed to find a medium to do so. For example, source stones, saint crystals, the death space, the heaven vault, the sea heart island where Tai Shu Yan lived, and other places with the power of laws. They could comprehend whatever they lacked. However, Guan Yi couldn't. He could only comprehend the power of laws that Dark Spirit Saint grasped when he entered the saint realm. Have you thought it through? Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and asked. There's nothing to think about. Cultivation is endless. Only the unknown is worth working hard. If you know your end point, there's no meaning. Night Sorrow said. Aunt Fei likes your attitude. According to Aunt Fei's estimations, you will only be able to display your true strength after entering the Venerable Realm. You have the Void Source Stone, why are you worried about not being able to comprehend the Void laws? In front of the True Origin bead, the Source Stone was too weak. The Source Stone only contained a portion of the power of laws. But the Origin bead was different. It contained the power of laws to perfection. Love go little say, Chu Wu Lingfei patted his shoulder and said. Aunt Fei, don't worry. Some things won't affect my state of mind. Night Sorrow smiled at Wu Lingfei. Actually, there are times when Aunt Fei is suspicious. How can a person like you appear? In the endless years, there hasn't been a single cultivator who has the void attribute. Not only do you have the void attribute, you even obtained a supreme treasure of the void attribute. You have both talent and opportunity. This can be said to be peerless. Wu Lingfei said. Aunt Fei, don't praise me. It's easy to ruin my state of mind. Night Sorrow smiled. Wu Lingfei patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. She knew that Night Sorrow's greatest highlight wasn't his cultivation or treasures, but his mental state. After resting for a night, everyone continued their journey towards their target city. It took them 7 days to reach Wui City. After arriving at Wui City, concubine Wu Lingfei had everyone stay in an inn for a comfortable night before taking the teleportation formation to Northern Blue City. Normally, the Taiyue domain's teleportation formation was already under the control of the Eastern Xian domain. In addition, there were also secret strategic teleportation formations. These were all under Wu Lingfei's control. They could be used directly, but Wu Lingfei didn't think it was necessary. The Tianji Tower Squad and the Blood-Robed Guard Squad also needed to train. After putting away their mounts, they teleported to Nanxiang City in the realm of unbounded desolation. Night Sorrow and Wu Lingfei ended up in Nanxiang City. After having Night Sorrow arrange for everyone to rest, Wu Lingfei took Night Sorrow to the Tianji Tower branch in Nanxiang City. Seeing the two of them wearing masks, the person in charge of the Tianji Tower branch in Nanxiang City bowed and greeted them. Wu Lingfei asked him about the demon beast tide. After hearing the report, Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow learned that the problem was in the Thousand Desolation mountain range in the western part of the realm of unbounded desolation, near the realm of Three Origins. The two of them also knew that the Empyrean Terminus Tower had also sent people over, mainly because the beast tide this time was very serious. According to the news sent back from the front line, there were millions of beasts in this beast tide, and there was no lack of high-level demonic beasts among them. There were even venerable realm demonic beasts in human form. Afterwards, Night Sorrow and Wu Lingfei left the Tianji Tower branch and returned to the inn. Wu Lingfei took a cup of tea from Night Sorrow and said, "It's really serious. 1,000,000 demon beasts is just a number now, but it'll be a shocking scene when we see them in person." Night Sorrow looked at Wu Lingfei and asked, "Auntie Fei, the battle between humans and demon beasts won't affect you, right? Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow and said, no, it won't. Of course, if they're from the same clan as me, it'll be a different story. Auntie Fei, you're called the Golden Phoenix. What clan are you from? Night Sorrow asked. Wu Lingfei smiled at Night Sorrow and said, I'm from the Ice Phoenix clan. I haven't seen anyone from the same clan for many years. I was born and raised in the East Snow Mountain. I want to know what you're thinking, Auntie Fei, Night Sorrow said. I won't do anything you don't like. Wu Lingfei nodded at Night Sorrow and said, okay, Auntie Fei understands your feelings. The same goes for Auntie Fei. If anything happens, I'll let you know. After pondering for a moment, Night Sorrow asked, are we going to work with the people from the Tianji Tower branch in the realm of unbounded desolation? That depends. The head of the Tianji Tower branch in the realm of unbounded desolation is called Qing Mang. He was born in the realm of unbounded desolation. In fact, he's also a demon beast, but he's already assimilated into the human race, Wu Lingfei said. After a moment of hesitation, Night Sorrow asked, how will he deal with this? That's not a problem. Demon beasts have two choices when they enter the Exalt realm. One is to assimilate into human society, and the other is to continue living among demon beasts. Qing Mang chose to assimilate into human society. In fact, if we look at it from the perspective of different races, tigers, snakes, and humans are just different races, not different races. Wu Lingfei explained to Night Sorrow. If that's the case, then this matter will be much easier to deal with, Night Sorrow said. Of course, it's just like Aunt Fei. In Aunt Fei's eyes, all demon beasts are the same as humans. They're all different races, Wu Lingfei said to Night Sorrow. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow returned to his room to rest. Latest D, Chapter, W on, Z. After a night's rest, the group set off again. After taking a teleportation portal, they arrived at the Thousand Desolation City. The Thousand Desolation City was the dividing line between humans and demon beasts in the realm of unbounded desolation. To the west was the world of demon beasts, while to the east was the territory of humans. Wu Lingfei took Night Sorrow to the Tianji Tower branch in the Thousand Desolation City. As the vice head of the Tianji Tower, there were some things that she had to ask about. In the lobby of the Tianji Tower, Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow met Qing Mang. Qing Mang was a 3-meter tall, burly man. His hair was loose, and there was a vertical sword mark between his eyebrows, which added to his fierce aura. Qing Mang greets Tower Master Wu and Heaven's Terminus Emissary. Qing Mang cupped his hands at Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow greets Tower Master Qing Mang. Night Sorrow cupped his hands in return. In the Tianji Tower, Heaven's Terminus Emissary's status was only second to the 7 potentates. He was equal to the other tower masters. Alright, let's find a quiet place to sit, Wu Lingfei said. Then, Qing Mang led the two to a quiet room. Chapter 529. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. What's the situation now? Wu Lingfei asked. It's very serious. Although Tianji Tower can preserve its strength, this is our hometown after all. If the beast tide comes, the civilization in the realm of unbounded desolation will deteriorate. Therefore, I've discussed it with my colleagues, and we've decided to fight to the end, Qing Mang said. Wu Lingfei interrupted Qing Mang and said, I understand. Now, I need to know how serious the situation is. The city lord of Grand Desolation City fought to a draw with the 5-clawed pterosaur the day before yesterday. In addition, there's more than one commander commanding the beast tide, so the situation isn't optimistic. I just came back from there, Qing Mang said. Then it's not an ordinary beast tide. The beast tide is fake, and the invasion of human territory is real. What's the cultivation base of the 5-clawed pterosaur? Wu Lingfei asked. It's a peak venerable. Although its battle skills are crude, it's extremely talented. The city lord of Grand Desolation City can withstand it, but he can't defeat it, Qing Meng said. Wu Lingfei thought for a moment and said, I've brought some young cultivators with me to gain experience. I'll talk to the city lord of Grand Desolation City tomorrow and then make some decisions. All right. Where are they? I'll arrange accommodations for them. Master Wu Lingfei and Heaven Terminus Emissary, you can stay in the backyard. Love go little say, Chu Qing Meng said. We've already stayed in the inn, so there's no need to trouble Subtower Master Qing Meng. Don't worry, I'll make the appropriate arrangements. However, we still need to see the city lord's attitude. Let's go back first, Wu Lingfei said. Qing Meng nodded and saw Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow out of the Tianji Tower branch. Looking at Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow's departing figures, Qing Meng shook her head helplessly. She knew what Wu Lingfei meant. Qing Meng knew what Wu Lingfei meant. If the city lord of Grand Desolation City showed a good attitude, then Wu Lingfei and Tianji Tower's headquarters could help solve the problem. But if they didn't, then Wu Lingfei's approach would change. At that time, he had only acted out of the interest of Tianji Tower. With Wu Lingfei's ability to suppress the demon beast tide, it wouldn't be a problem for her to ask the demon beasts for a safe haven in the realm of unbounded desolation. It could even be said that the demon beast tide was an opportunity for the Tianji Tower. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.aichuxs. Tianji Tower did not fight for territory, but at this time, if they wanted to share a territory with the demon beasts would also compromise. If they did not compromise, then the consequences would be very serious. Of course, the premise was that Wu Lingfei could control the situation. Wu Lingfei and Night Sorrow returned to the inn. Auntie Fei, do we need to know what the city lord mansion's attitude is? Is that important? Night Sorrow asked. It's not important, Wu Lingfei said with a smile. But it's good that we can fight for some benefits for Tianji Tower. After hearing Wu Lingfei's words, Night Sorrow immediately understood what she meant. If the city lord mansion in Grand Desolation City couldn't hold the demon beast tide, they would need outside help, and there was no one stronger than Wu Lingfei. It was impossible that the Nine Realms Royal City didn't know about the battle between Wu Lingfei and Ji Yuhaitian. If they wanted to use Wu Lingfei as an outside force, they would have to show their sincerity. Anyone who wasn't a fool would understand this sincerity. Auntie Fei, will this make things difficult for the leader of Qing Meng's branch? Night Sorrow asked. No, it won't. I made it clear because I don't want Qing Meng to be estranged. Besides, now that the City Lord Mansion in the realm of Unbounded Desolation and the Heaven Poles branch in the realm of Unbounded Desolation and the Slaughter Halls branch in the realm of Unbounded Desolation are fighting each other, they should have put aside their differences. Only I can be the villain, but I don't mind, Wu Lingfei said. I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. After that, the two of them returned to the tavern and sat down to meditate and rest. Qing Meng hesitated for a while before putting on her mask and leaving the Heaven Poles branch. She arrived at the command tent in the middle of the Thousand Desolation mountain range. The leader of Qing Meng's branch is here, a man in a tiger fur coat said. City Lord Hu Shao, I have something to discuss with the City Lord, Qing Meng said. She was the only official version of you, while the other three were Heist 9 versions. The man in the tiger fur coat, Hu Shao, the City Lord of Grand Desolation City, said, in the past, our City Lord Mansion and Tianji Tower might have been competitors. But now, we're united against the outside world. You can speak your mind. As long as the City Lord Mansion can do it, we'll do it. Qing Meng looked at Hu Shao and said, it's going to be difficult for the human camp in the realm of Unbounded Desolation to withstand the demon beast tide. However, we have an opportunity today. I don't have the final say in controlling this opportunity. It's up to the City Lord. An opportunity? We can't kill the 5-clawed pterodactyl and the 3-legged ape king. Hu Shao sighed. The leader of Tianji Tower, Tower Master Wu, has come to the realm of Unbounded Desolation and met with me. However, she said that it's up to the city lord mansion whether to help or not, Qing Mang said. A woman on Hu Zhao's left pointed at Qing Mang and said, "Isn't that what you want, Qing Mang? All right. I'll pretend I didn't come here today." Qing Mang sighed and turned to leave the tent. Wait. Elder Guan apologized to Tower Master Qing Mang. Hu Xiao called out to Qing Mang. At the same time, he roared at the woman beside him. "I'm sorry, Tower Master Qing Mang. It's just that I feel that you're taking advantage of the situation by saying that." Elder Guan clasped his hands at Qing Mang. "Perhaps. I was born in the realm of unbounded desolation, and I'm willing to die fighting for the realm of unbounded desolation. However, we can't ask others to do the same. Why should they? It's only right for them to fight for Tianji Tower, but there has to be a reason for them to fight for the realm of unbounded desolation." Everyone in the tent fell silent, as they all knew that Qing Mang's words made sense. In the realm of Eastern Xian, Wu Lingfei was the leader of the City Lord Mansion and Tianji Tower. If someone from the headquarters of Tianjin Tower helped her, it would be the same as helping her, since the City Lord Mansion supported the development of Tianjin Tower. However, the realm of unbounded desolation was different. The City Lord Mansion and Tianjin Tower were competitors. Of course, the headquarters of Tianjin Tower wouldn't help her for free. "I'm here to deliver the message. This has already made me lose the principle of Tianjin Tower. Now, it's up to you. Even if you refuse, I'll fight to the end. After all, I'm a member of the realm of unbounded desolation." With these words, Qing Mang left the tent. As for what the higher-ups of the realm of unbounded desolation thought, she didn't care, nor did she want to care. This time, Hu Xiao and the others didn't stop Qing Mang. Now that the matter had been made clear, the people from the City Lord Mansion were going to discuss how to negotiate with Wu Lingfei. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Love Stories YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.